It's Tuesday, and you know what that means. It is IndyCar night on iRacing. Hello again, everyone. I am Gary Gotzo, and welcome to P1's Broadcasting signature presentation coverage of Round 3, Week 3 of Season 3 of 2025 of the IndyCar Oval Series. Tuesday night top split coming to you from Daytona International Speedway, presented to you by Topia Systems, and we're here. As Ernie Banks used to say, hey, let's play two, as we are here for our almost seasonal meme race doubleheader, as we are coming to you from the World Center of Speed here in Daytona, where we are going to watch why IndyCars don't really race here for real. And it's going to be a critical lesson in closing rates and staying off of the car in front of you. But thanks for joining us, everybody. Joining me, as always, tonight in the booth, Justin Petschauer, who's done many laps here in both stock cars and IndyCars, and then Luis Gonzalez Nunez, who probably has done a number of laps here in an IndyCar as well. Probably not one of his favorite places to race here, I'm willing to guess, but qualifications are underway. What do we expect here tonight, boys?
Plan C, driver. Plan C, plan chaos.
Well, I don't expect nothing, but I can say this, I'm gonna be faster. So, July 1st, 1867, 3 separate colonies create one country. So today is a Canada Day. So, happy Canada's Day.
Happy Canada Day, there
All
you go.
Happy Canada Day, indeed.
All right, let's get tonight's starting lineup in.
Well, I figured it would have been Robert Malechka that would have gotten the pole, but he got knocked down the grid. So Adriano Pinero is going to start on pole, followed by Tanner Richards. Starting third will be Dave Mitchell. Next to him will be Trey Shadid. Matt Hollabaugh will round out the top 5. Next to him, Robert Malechka, the king, starting 6th. Adriano Fraporti starting 7th. 8th, it'll be Stephen Lee. Good friend of the show, Nick Sadiq, starting 9th. And rounding out the top 10, it'll be Tony Pizarro. Harry.
And that pole speed, by the way, 240 miles an hour. Next group of cars, we got the king of the heel himself, Brendan Trost. He is lining up on the inside of row 6 with Crash Neon on the outside of row 6. Freeman and Estrada, the boss, back in row 7. Clindy back in row 8. And then we have the host of the drivers that said, you know what, qualifying here in Daytona, screw it. Oster, no speed, back in row 8. Then we got Ty Quilla and Ryan Campbell, teammates, in row 9. Rusty Plant and Moskowitz back in row 10. And a little bit further back, we have, and I guess I'm hoping I'm saying this right. I don't want to really, Crapser,
Yes.
back in 11th, and is appropriately right next to Jose Solis Jr. with his 1.80 safety rating back in row 11. Fazaro and Sousa back in row 12, and Caleb Brashear on the last row, who will have the best seat in all the house here on the first lap in row 13. And that is our starting lineup. Only 25 cars, but folks, we are going to see a heck of a lot of those cars moving up and down in the order.
One thing you also didn't make mention of.
Go ahead.
One thing you also forgot to mention, ladies and gentlemen, cars 16, Jonathan Freeman, the 4, is in a Kyle Larson paint scheme.
We gotta have a Kyle Larson livery in a meme race like this. Are you kidding me? You gotta. Just gotta.
Oh, he disappeared. It disappeared. It's not the grid. Oh, there it is.
There it is back. That's what we do not want blinking. We got 2 Larson liveries in the lineup.
Oh, no.
This is why we call them meme races. This is why we do double headers. We are seeing a lot of people in the lineup today. Normally, we do not see in the top split. If this is your first time on the top split broadcast, welcome. If this is your first time watching the top split broadcast, welcome. But we are give a quick lesson tonight on why IndyCars do not do not race at Daytona, at least on the oval. Maybe one of these days we'll see him on the combined road course, but this is a 2.5-mile D-shaped super speedway. We're doing 50 laps, 125 miles. No fast repairs, 3 sets of tires, one in the car, 2 in it's 55 mile per hour pit road speed limit. USAC opened their 1959 season here at Daytona. On the pole was Dick Rathman with a speed of 173.210 miles per hour, a Curtis-designed, Offie-powered roadster. Today, IR18s with speeds of 240 miles per hour. Green flag in the air. Here we go from Daytona with the top split of the IndyCars. Going 3 wide already, Robert Malechka.
Robert Malechka with one heck of a good start there. He's going to slot back in line as they go 2 wide. A few rows deep here. Now he's going to try and make it 3 wide as they go through 1 and 2 here. It's a lot narrower in the turns than it is at Talladega. So it's going to be interesting to see who can do what here with the speeds reaching up close to 250 miles an hour already. 3 wide, almost 2 rows deep there as they go into turn 3.
Look at Estrada going fast on the front 4 spot. The front 14 is going to the front, and that's the best. You know, when you try to be in this group, you have to come in with groups. So you don't want to come in alone. Wow.
Couple of close calls there as we see one Kyle Larson scheme up on the high side there, right behind Tony Pizarro. He is slicing and dicing his way through the field. He gets caught up in the middle lane there. He goes to the high side, but he will get the door slammed shut on him by Tony Pizarro in 3.
We're riding with Antonio Estrada. We mentioned him. Watch him. He's going to get a bit of a run. He's got a little bit of a cushion between himself and this lead group. Still well within the draft. 235 at the line. Cracking the throttle just a little bit. Jose Solis Jr. with the 1.80 safety rating at 240.4. And I think we just heard Antonio kind of breathe the throttle a little bit. 237, 238, 239 now down the super stretch here at Daytona. 245, 246, 47, 48, 49, and he backs out of it just before getting to 50.
Jose Solis up in the top groove there as they go through turns 3 and 4 here. Off of turn 4, he will lose that momentum. He will slot back in behind. But here comes Tony Pizarro. Now Pizarro gets caught up in the dirty air, but that will have little to no effect here at Daytona. And now 3 wide for the lead as they go off into turn number 1.
Jose Solis does not care at all what the rest of these IndyCar drivers think. I think he's been on the record a number of times talking about how he's not a big fan of these other drivers, and I don't think these drivers are a big fan of his as we go 3 wide like the start of the Indy 500 into turn 3 and 4.
He will lose that momentum, though, is now on the inside of him. It's 3 wide with Tony Pizarro, and I believe that's Antonio Estrada, the boss man, on the low line there as they go past the start-finish line and complete lap number 4, move on to lap number 5. Still side by side as 3 wide as they go into turn 1 here. Jose Solis still up on that high side there. He will lose the momentum again. Here comes Tony Pizarro, slots in front of him, and Tony Pizarro is going to try and get the run on Robert Malechka now as they go to the high side, still 3 wide. Oh, contact just a little bit. They have to back out of it there. No harm, no foul. Malechka gets caught up just a little bit. He has to back out of it with all that dirty air. Malechka now with the run. He's going to go 3 wide, and he's going to take the lead here by just millimeters there.
Jacob Oster cracks 250 right at the tri-oval. Now slows down. He's going to back up and try for another run. This is fun. For some of these drivers, this is fun and games. They're trying to work for the world record.
It is fun. It is funny because I follow Jacob for 1 lap. He went back to the front and he made the fastest lap. But it is really, really crazy how sometimes running like this is pretty boring. Actually, it's really boring. But after 10 laps to go, is getting more excited, and it's like you're getting wake up to the moment that 40 laps doing just around this track.
And look at that run there that I believe it is, Robert Malechka back to the high side there as they go up down the backstretch past the little chicane for the sports car stuff, mainly for the Rolex 24 Daytona. Still 3 wide, though, as they go through 3 and 4 here. Malechka had that run on the high side going down the straightaway, but he lost all the momentum now. He's going to back out of it because he realizes this is too dangerous here, guys.
Well, I also realize I have Jose Solis Jr. to my inside.
I want no part of that.
Pizarro in that multicolored Dreamcoat car in P6. He's up 17 spots. He's joining the leaders right there.
Already we got a couple of roads that are literally split between 2 wide and single file here as they go through turns 4 and oh my God, who is that? It's John Freeman with a huge run right behind Robert Malechka. He has to essentially get on the brakes there because of that brick wall of cars in front of him.
And I'm going to apologize about the cams in advance. These are cams optimized for stock cars here at Daytona. I don't use IndyCar cams enough here to really tweak these too much. So if everything seems a little too fast in the camera department, we apologize in advance. Big run by Kyle Clinworth.
255 miles an hour going down the back straightaway into turn 3 by Kyle Clinworth. A huge run by him.
He might put up the purple lap this time by. Let's see what it says. They're showing the fastest laps of the day. 2:45.5 for Clindy on that lap. 2:45.5. Freeman with a 2:47 flat. Brashear with a 2:47.6. Can anyone crack that 250 magical mark? It doesn't pay anything, but it gives you a lot of prestige and bragging rights.
Already we got some cars that are starting to go single file here because they realize it's now the fun and games is essentially over. It's time to start figuring out when to go in for fuel. You're not going to need any tires for this one here because the tire wear, what tire wear?
What tire wear? That's right. It might just be fuel only when we see these guys hit the pits. There is no rule to say you have to change tires in IndyCar Oval Racing. Solis Jr. is going to take it 3 wide, and he clears everybody, and he pulls down right in front of T. Rich, gets the lead. But here comes Robert Malechka with Pizarro right behind him.
Tony Pizarro there is going to be working with Robert Malechka there. It's going to be Robert Malechka this time by as he will lead this lap here, but don't count out Jose Solis Jr. Even though he's in a Kyle Larson's game, Robert Malechka slots down in front.
Malechka gives him the Brazilian clear.
A big old Brazilian clear there. But now Jose Solis Jr. is caught up there behind Robert Malechka as we got Tony Pizarro there up on the high side. Hits that, just stalls out there a little bit. But now look at the runs behind him here. Look at this. Oh, my God. You're talking about threading the needle there. Who is that? Is that John Freeman?
Here, well, look at this. Okay, now we got 2 Larson liveries side by side, and that's Freeman.
Wow.
Now Freeman says he wants to get involved here as they go into turn number 1. Freeman there right behind Tony Pizarro as he had a huge run. He's now sitting third, but don't look now. Jose Solis Jr. is still trying to get that momentum run. He's trying to go low. He's not going to do it. As he realizes even in the stock car mentality is somehow in play here with Jose Solis Jr. because he knows you cannot go past that double yellow line to make a pass there because if you come back up before turn 3, plan C is in effect. If anybody has seen the new F1 movie, you get the...
Not yet. I have not. I will get around to it at some point. If you enjoy P1's coverage of the IndyCar Oval Series Tuesday Night Top Split presented by... Whoa!
Now he timed it perfect in that instance.
He did, but he definitely shows that 1.80 safety rating.
But as you were saying before that little moment,
as I was saying, if you're watching and you respect the stream, please do us a solid. Make sure you support us by subscribing. And while you're at it, don't forget to smash like and click the bell so don't miss out on future P1 iRacing broadcasts. So, you know, I told you in the right before we took green, the pole speed when Dick Rathman took the pole here in 1959 when USAC opened their Champ Car season here with a speed of 173.2. By comparison, that season, Johnny Thompson won the pole at Indianapolis with a speed of 145.908 miles per hour. That's a difference of almost 30 miles per hour. The race was won by Jim Rathman, who led 35 of the 40 laps. We're doing 50 tonight. Three-time Indy 500 winner Roger Ward finished second, and an up-and-coming driver by the name of A.J. Foyt finished 8th in that race. Also in the lineup, Tony Bettenhausen Sr., Eddie Sachs, 1956 Indy 500 winner Pat Flattery, and a driver name is Elmer George. And if that name doesn't ring a bell, well, that is Tony George's daddy. But unfortunately, that race was marred by a death of three-time USAC Champ Car winner, three-race winner, George Amick. And after the race, the driver says, well, we're not going to come back. We don't want to do that anymore. It's not very safe. So already, Bill France Sr. already sold tickets to the second race that IndyCar was planning to have that season. USAC was planning to have that season. And that happened to be, well, this coming weekend, of course. It was going to be over the July 4th holiday back in 1959. Well, with the lack of cars on a track and anything to do but tickets sold, he did the next best thing. He had this stock car series that he was working on, and he decided to put them on the oval. And that was the birth of the Firecracker 400. So you can thank IndyCar canceling their second race of the season for the birth of the Firecracker 400.
Well, not just that. You also got to count the people that lived in Raleigh, North Carolina, the Raleigh Speedway there, where they were throwing a huge hissy fit about having a track literally within their neighborhood. So when they canceled that race after the tragedy that occurred, ooh, they pretty much said they were going to move the races at Raleigh down to Florida as well.
I guess things work out for a reason. Robert Malechka, your leader. Tony Bizzarro, second. Solis Jr. swapping back and forth with Adriano Pinero in third and fourth. Tanner Richards, fifth. Dave Mitchell back in sixth. Fazaro back in seventh. Kyle Clinworth back in eighth. Stephen Lee, ninth. And Matt Hollaball. We have not talked about him. He has been in the top 10 all night. Matt is back in 10th. We are now 19 of 50 laps into this race. We are caution-free. Knock on wood. This is race one of a two-race doubleheader tonight. Once we wrap up this race, we will prepare for the 10 to 15 race. Just stick with us. We will not stop the stream.
Now, to close out the Raleigh Speedway thing, for more information on this, you can look up on YouTube, Slap on Location by Slap Shoes, Raleigh Speedway, because believe it or not, even though it's a lost speedway, only 90 feet of the original backstretch of Raleigh Speedway still exists out in the middle of the woods near a power substation. 3-1 so he clears in front of Robert Malechka there.
And I got to say, T-Rich is trying to get up there, but he's got no help. And that high line just stalls up. Once you get even with the leaders up there, you hit a brick wall of air. And these cars, even as low and as slung as they are to the ground, and I think Bizzarro could be clear if he wanted to. But he also know who he was clearing, so maybe he decided to take that into account as well.
Yeah, he did. Still side by side as they go down the Daytona Superstretch here with Robert Malechka right behind Jose Solis Jr. As well as you got Adriano Pinero right behind Robert Malechka.
There are your fastest laps of the day. Everybody turned. 2:47.8 by Freeman is your fastest lap so far. We are expecting pit stops here momentarily. They need to make at least one stop before getting home for fuel.
Don't look down, but look at this. Here comes Stephen Lee up on the high side there. He was almost 250 straight forward, going through 1 and 2 on the high side there, but he had to slow up because of Tanner Richards in front of him.
There's your last laps that you see. Drivers turning 2:37 for your leaders. Just a little bit faster. Here comes Pinero to pit road, scheduled stop. 2:37 is just a little bit faster than what they turned at Indianapolis. Pinero.
No. Pinero's got a black flag. He went too fast on pit road.
Speeding on pit road for the Elite Racing League's back-to-back champion.
He went. Oh well. Yeah, that's very bad because they're gonna lose maybe one lap and something else.
Oh, here comes the King of the Hills. The King of the Hills is on the top of the hill, and he's coming. It is Brandon Trost. There we see Fazaro coming to pit road.
And Trost also was at 250 miles an hour through 3 and 4 up on the high side
There
there.
it is, Jacob Oster, 250.4, your purple lap.
He hit the magic number. You said it. It was going to be probably somewhere near the end. Well, there it is.
I've watched too many of the i5G team streams that they do. Yeah, they work a lot at building up to that big 250 lap. They'll fall back, get a big run like he's doing right now on the high side.
Oscar. Wow.
I think he just reset it again.
250.6. Even faster.
He was 254 miles an hour up on the high side the previous lap in 3 and 4. Here comes also Dylan Moskowitz. He has to slow up, though, because of all that traffic in front of him. Ty Quill up on the high side now, 251 miles an hour, slowing down because of all because of that traffic there. Now here comes 3 more cars pitting off the pit road.
How much fuel can you save in the back of the pack? We are at the halfway point now, just past the halfway point. Just in front of the leaders, that is Adriano Pinero. Solis Jr. is your leader. There he is. We'll ride with him as he has Beto Sousa right in front of him. Beto Sousa just came off of pit road not too long ago.
You know, Justin, you can make the blocking in NASCAR because everyone is a set.
Clindy! Oh, no!
And he also had a black flag, too. Insult to injury.
And Brian Campbell, his teammate, Campbell gets a black flag.
Oh, no. Well, like you said, we don't call these meme races for nothing.
And also me for flag for Clendy, so he's over.
Yeah, he just nosed it into the pit wall, though.
Moskowitz, I think, coming to pit road. Yeah, Moskowitz coming to pit road. He gets down under the limit. Stephen Lee now is your leader. This is one of his specialty tracks. He loves these drafting tracks. Bizarro going underneath the yellow line there. Brendan Trost is your leader. There he is, marred in the back of all this. He is second. Lee is your leader, actually. Lot could go wrong. Fazaro just slides across the nose of Trost.
Oh, so close.
Here, a bunch of cars coming up to speed on the apron there, making their pit stops. You see Campbell going to the bottom. Going to the bottom. When do those leaders come to pit road? We still not have seen Lee, Trost, Oster, Shadid, Fraporti, Robert Molechka, Sudik, Brashear, Freeman have not all come to pit road yet. Now we see a bunch.
Oh, man. That was a little too close for comfort going out of pit road there.
This is one of Trey Shadid's specialty races as well. He loves the drafting tracks, and I believe he won one of the splits yesterday.
I guess, yes, maybe.
Stephen Lee coming to pit road. Fraporti now your leader on the high side. He is marred in the mid-pack right now. He has been out there for 30 laps.
Stephen Lee, black flag, too fast pit entry.
Oh, and just the field keeps getting wheeled and just whittled down little by little. These little mistakes.
That's why it's so tricky. Even in a stock car here, when you're going from 200 miles an hour, you have to get down to 60 miles an hour just to get on the pit road there.
Nick Sudik coming to pit road for his scheduled stop. He leaves third place. For Porty, still your leader. Brendan Trost, second spot. John Freeman in the other Larson livery. He is now third. He has not stopped yet. The leaders at 31 laps into their stint now, so they need to come to pit road any time.
Nick Sadik is in pit now.
And he's done, down and away. Do we see the leaders make that turn? For Porty, it wasn't a position where he could get there. He can't give up that inside, otherwise it's going to make it really hard for him to get to pit road. He's going to give up that inside, go to the high side, now goes low, he's following right now Mitchell.
He'll move up to the top side there, and there's a car coming up pit road, and they're scattering into the wind.
Oh,
That is close.
That's why I said you have to time your move perfectly to slot back into traffic here at Daytona, even at Talladega, with how quick you go here.
Porty stays out, Trost stays out. And the last two cars remaining needing the pit. They're hoping to catch a caution now at this point. And if they do, they'll trap a number of drivers a lap down, and they'll have to get the wave around. Goes to the bottom. For Porty signaling he's coming in. There you go. Trost is going to stay out. For Porty coming in. Oh, gets the car crooked, but he keeps it straight and gets to the limit at the line. 55 miles per hour. Now he needs to find a stall and hit his marks, not slide through the box. An easy thing to do here on these super speedways. Trost will come in next time by for Porty on the marks. Here comes Trost halfway down the super stretch. We expect the King of the Heels to make the turn down pit road this time by.
You almost had a 4-wide situation going into turn 3 there down the backstretch.
Here comes Trost using all that apron to slow down. Now on the limiter. Now he makes the long trek down pit road to his stall. That will turn the lead over to, if he gets there and when he gets there, Nick Sudik. Actually, not. It's going to, for Porty's out in front of Sudik. And that's called a white fill. That's a lighter fill right there, a short fill. But the thing is, he's all by himself.
Piñeiro!
2 cars. Make that 4 cars now.
Moskowitz. Krapser in the Horn Racing livery.
He crashed.
Caleb Brashear, I believe, was involved in that. Pinero was in that as well? Yes, Pinero. Let's see if we can go back and watch that.
Moskowitz.
And we're under caution. We are going to go caution. We are going to go caution. So we got time to watch this, and we are going to have we're going to have a heck of a finish here. But we'll see what happened here coming off of turn 3 and 4. And Pinero just floats up in. He gets Pizarro gets him. I don't know if Pizarro is he. No, he loses he gets the nose back, but he loses one of his front planes. He's going to have to stop.
No, you have to check more. Follow the incident, because they have an incident Pizarro with Mitchell.
All right, so we'll continue watching. Dave Mitchell's nowhere near him right now, so he's going to get a big run on him.
Doesn't even realize that Pizarro's there on the outside of him. Cookie medium rare. That's
Oh yeah, he just And that's where the caution actually comes out. It's not the incident that we saw. It just, I think everything was kind of building up to what we saw on that lap all at once. All right, so Trost is your leader now. When he came out of pit road, they were going caution, so he manages to keep the lead. Porporti is second. Solis Jr. is in third. Nick Sudik is in fourth. Jacob Oster, who has the fastest lap of the day at 250.6 miles an hour, he is fifth. He's probably working with Robert Moletska in sixth. Fazaro seventh. Trace Shadid eighth. T. Rich back in ninth. And Ty Quilla, one of the lone remaining Rogue Racing entries, along with Antonio Estrada in 11th. Let's give you a real quick look at the points coming into today's race. And there you see T. Rich with a pretty commanding lead coming into this race. And really, with the strength of field as strong as it is, if T. Rich can kind of survive the remainder of this race over the last 12 laps, he is looking to capitalize, but also still in the lineup and still involved in this race is Trace Shadid and Hollenbaugh. They're second and third. Lilac Zier not in tonight's race, but won one of the second highest strength of field race of the week yesterday, is in fourth. Ella Spice fifth. There you see Fazara, Moskowitz, Clindy, Pinero, and Orma as the remainder of your top 10 here for week 3 of the Indy Oval Series.
If Matt Hollenbaugh has the broadcast up, jump on the broadcast Discord. I want to know what the heck this cookie medium rare thing is, because I can't stop laughing at it.
I don't know if he's if you see him, bring him up. But I think we're getting ready. Are we getting ready to go green, or we still got another lap or so? Lights are still on the pace car. Lights are still on the pace car here.
Yeah. No, it's not here, actually.
He's working with teammates.
Well, we can list Adriano Pinero as out.
Two-time and defending champion of the Elite Racing League's Warriors for Peace IndyCar Series. He is out for at least this race. We might see him at race number 2. Nick Sudik, who finished on the podium for the IndyCar Open Series last season, currently 4th. Jacob Oster, many-time winner of the Top Split broadcast. He is 5th. Robert Moletska. Oh, we almost saw a wreck between Fraporti and Solis Jr. That was close.
Man, this lap is so long.
I know. If you are just joining us, this is P1's coverage of race 1 of the IndyCar Oval Series Tuesday Night Top Split doubleheader, presented to you by Topia Systems, coming to you from Daytona, where we have now 12 laps to go of a scheduled 50-lap race. If you are enjoying it, my bat phone is ringing here. Sorry about that. If you're unable to do us, if you respect the stream and what am I trying to say here? If you're enjoying tonight's coverage, that's what I'm trying to say of tonight's race, and would like to monetarily support us, please find the link to our GoFundMe campaign in the stream description. It's also pinned in chat. And we realize times are tough, so any donation, no matter the amount, is greatly appreciated. In December, P1 Broadcasting Home becomes gosh, I cannot talk tonight. I want to try to get this in before the green flag. P1 Broadcasting becomes the primetime home for Happy Hour at the Brickyard, your nightly destination for all the action leading up to the prestigious PRI Hoosier 500. The last kiss of the bricks for 2025 starts right here on P1. The countdown is on. Pucker up and don't miss a second of the action. Like, share, and subscribe to stay locked in. And we will see you in December. We are going back green here at Daytona. Next week, we go back to Indianapolis. The Solis Jr. drag racing on the outside, and we might be wrecking behind us. Hollenbaugh in the wall.
Stephen Lee as well.
What happened? A lot of staggering cars on the restart.
Oh.
This Felipe went full throttle, and even the car on the front it was away.
That was a huge, unnecessary stack up.
Yeah, it looks like he was trying to go, and I think Freeman might have passed somebody, and he's going to get a black flag. And Rusty Plant might have passed someone too, and he's going to get a black flag. So I think those guys, for the most part, are innocent in what happened. They're just trying to do wreck avoidance. What am I trying to say? I cannot talk tonight. Wreck avoidance. There we go. So let's watch this. They come up to speed. We see Stephen Lee get a bit of a run of Fazaro, checks up. Here comes Hollenbaugh. Yeah, and he passes to the inside, but he's just trying to avoid the wreck. Rusty Plant, same thing. So they are going to have to come to pit road and answer the black flag. Unfortunately, there is no human stewarding in these races, so they will have to answer that for that to go away. So unfortunately, for Freeman and Rusty Plant, their days, or at least this race, is done.
Well, I think Hollenbaugh just said it best here. Except jet at Daytona or be penalized. Well, is there a way to have both here?
I think Hollenbaugh, he's a little bit of damage, but I think he's making his way around. He will try to get to pit road and get repaired here. He's got a meatball flag. Stephen Lee, that is terminal damage to Stephen Lee. So he is going to be done. He will join Pizarro, Moskowitz, Clindy on pit road.
In the words of Matt Hollenbaugh just now, thank God for the arrow screen.
I think iRacing have to fix this stuff. It doesn't matter if you make the pass by pass somebody on the green flag. But in this incident, could be maybe drop to the end, maybe something like that. I know it could be included if it's somebody passed in the, but I don't know. It is hard. It is hard for these guys. They don't have any involved because, for example, Rusty Plant, he had to make the pass for the left with these two cars in the wall, so they don't have any chance. That for me, it should be maybe drop to the end, but I don't know. It sucks because it's not even closer involved on them, so they need to come in and have a maybe.
Let's watch Jacob Oster use the bus stop chicane, by the way, on the backstretch here.
We've done that before in the stock car stuff under yellow because, like you said, not just like Pocono, the pace laps under caution are just so long.
He even clips the curbs like he's going through there so fast.
Which track could be 2 minutes? I said Nürburgring, the Neuschleife, but it's over the 6 minutes, so there's no track for 2 minutes in IndyCar.
Yeah, and I agree that it would be nice that if there was real stewarding going on, even in a league race or in a real race that was here. Stop right here on the racetrack.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for joining us, everybody. This is race 1 of our 2-race doubleheader for our meme race week here at Daytona. Of course, it is July 4th week here in the States, and it's Happy Canada Day up in Canada. So, of course, during July 4th week, what does that mean? Well, it's Firecracker 400 time, or at least traditionally Firecracker 400 time. So, ironically, it looks like they placed the Daytona on the schedule on the right week here for the IndyCars. Next week, we go to Indianapolis. I can't really think of a time where the IndyCar Oval Series, and that's where we had my chief researcher, Luis Gonzalez Nunez, have to dig into the archives to figure out if we've ever had a race where we've gone to Daytona one week and then went to Indianapolis the next week. And we're not talking like Daytona Road Course, Indianapolis Road Course, or Daytona Road Course, Indianapolis Oval, or vice versa. We're talking Daytona Oval, Indianapolis Oval in consecutive weeks. And I'm not quite sure that's ever happened. Although, remind me, Lewis, when was the last time that Indianapolis and Daytona showed up on the same schedule for the IndyCar Oval Series, or back when it was known as the Fix-It, as everyone say, the Fix-It Series, but the Indy Fix Series?
Well, I'm going to be faster. 2025 Season 4, 2026 Season 2, 2018 Season 4. That is when we see Pocono, Daytona, Indy, and Michigan on the same time.
Green flag, and Solis is not going to wait. And he's going to... this is going to be a battle of wills up front between Solis Jr. and Brendan Trost. Brendan Trost is not going to give an inch or give any Fs.
He will not give an inch or a mile, but look at this now. Here comes Jose Solis Jr., but he lost his drafting partner as they go 3 wide now into turn 3. Still 3 wide as they go through 3 and 4 here. There was a momentary instance of another 3 wide situation, but look at this now. Oh, contact just a tiny bit there as they come towards the start and finish line here. It's still Brandon Trost, Jose Solis Jr. as they go down towards turn number 1.
Brendan Trost, over 1,100 official iRacing wins.
And who's that on the outside of Jose Solis there?
That is Nick Sudik.
Oh, Nick Sudik trying to make that charge now as they go, as he's still 3 wide. Oh, almost contact between him and Jose Solis Jr. Oh, Nick Sudik backs out of it just a little bit here. Jeez, I'm stumbling over my own words.
Here we go. I know. It's contagious. 5 to go at the line. It is Trost, Solis Jr. in the middle. Nick Sudik up top. Right behind him is Fraporti. Then Fazaro. Then T. Rich. Here comes Oster on the bottom side. Here's Robert Molechka. He's inevitable. Right behind them is also Ty Quilla. He's in the battle. We are 3 by 3 by 3. 3 roads steep going into turn 3.
Still 3 wide as they go through 3 and 4 here. Trost just out in front by, not by much now, at least a car length or so. But here comes Jose Solis Jr. with the run on the inside. Oh, contact. I believe that was Robert Molechka. No, it was Antonio Estrada that got literally suckered into the middle there and almost got wrecked there as they were going past the start-finish line there. Still battling hard.
Oh, there it is. Solis Jr. is out. Fraporti's out, but not a caution as we are still going to race. And now it comes down to the IndyCar regulars.
They somehow saved it in that instance of contact there as they came off of turn 2. But like you said, the IndyCar
regulars. And there's Trey Shadid and Mitchell.
Don't come back up on the track, and they didn't.
No. We're gonna get caution. No. Okay, he doesn't. I think we're gonna stay green.
They have to. Yeah, keep going now.
Coming to 2 to go. And just like Randy Macho Man said in one of his most famous promos, the cream always rises to the top, and here it is. The IndyCar regulars outlast all of the guys showing up because they don't want to race at Chicago street course, and I don't blame them. IndyCars at Talladega, much more exciting. Brendan Trost, your leader, Sudik. Tanner Richards up the top side.
Talladega, where are we at?
Excuse me, Daytona, whatever, man. I told you it's catching on. It's tough to talk. Here we go. Trost, Sudik, Richards. Also in the battle, Oster, Estrada, Fazaro. 2 to go. Coming to the white flag.
2 wide, 2 rows deep. Three wide, 2 rows deep there. Correction as they come up on turn number 4 here. White flag, white flag, white flag. In the words of Moonhead here. It's going to be interesting to see who's going to be able to make that run up on the high side to get past Brandon Trost as they head off towards turn number 1.
That time was Sudik, I think. It might have been barely him by a nose. Here they go through turns 1 and 2, down the super stretch for the final time. Trost all over. He is not leaving that yellow line at all. Here he goes, 3 wide into turns 3 and 4. Tanner Richards, Nick Sudik, Brendan Trost. It's going to come down to these 3. Pizarro, the boss in the middle. And here we go to the bottom. Tanner and Jacob Oster.
Oh.
And Jacob Oster steals it.
Ray! Oster won the race!
And a big one there with 2 cars flying.
My God!
Antonio Estrada on his lid. What a finish. And we got to go back and watch that. We do have to go back and watch that one more time.
So funny. Because Trost tried to put the car in there, and it's like, okay, I don't want it, but I want to try my best. And Oster is like, okay, whatever, I want to throw the car in there. And he did.
We'll just keep the camera on Oster here.
I always said the last lap, well, it's not the last lap, the last corner, everything is allowed, actually. If it's in Daytona, it doesn't matter.
He goes right away. He didn't even wait.
No, the moment he saw straight the car, he just put the car on the left, and he did a good job, actually. It was a good close. Don't go to the rules and stuff, and Daytona. Always we talking about that. So it's just put the end of the race like that. It's pretty good.
Jacob Oster with the win by 0.017 of a second over Nick Sudik. T. Rich comes home third. That's going to help him in the points battle. Canada Hills, Brandon Trost, he is now finishes 4th. Antonio Estrada 5th, Pizarro 6th, Robert Malechka 7th. Caleb Brashear started at the tail end of this field. He was the 24 ranked car out of the 25 that started this thing. Comes home 8th. And then the 25th car is Crash Dion, comes home 9th. Dyquilla in 10th. Alex Krabser in 11th, Sousa 12th, Porporti 13th, Rusty Plant 14th, Freeman 15th, Jose Solis Jr. I think a lot of the IndyCar regulars are going to be happy to see him not get a win. I'm just telling you, I just read a lot of the forums. I know what they say. He is 16th, Brian Campbell 17th, Tracian at 18th, Dave Mitchell 19th, and Hollenbaugh in 20th. Stephen Lee in 21st, Clindy 22nd, Pizarro 23rd, Moskowitz 24th. Adriano Pinero rounding out the remainder of this 25-car field. Race 1 complete.
It is funny because he came from 25 to 1st.
Antonio Estrada with the Austin Dillon experience. I'm not kidding. He literally went into the catchments Austin Dillon style.
All right, we will get people up in here. And we will bring up Nick Sudik. And here he is, Nick Sadiq. Nick, is there even a? I don't know if you had a human spotter with you at all, but was there?
Gary.
Okay, so I don't even think there's a WAV file that tells you or how to warn you about what it was like coming off of turn 4 for you guys. What was that like?
I just kind of gritted my teeth. I probably could have used a mouth guard. We were just talking in the interview room or the green room. Like I was like for like a half a second, I was upset, and then I saw what happened. And I was like, oh yeah, I would have done the same thing. That whole entire whip for Jacob down at the bottom. Like I had so much momentum. I don't know how. Like the track condition, I guess, was a little weird, but like maybe it's like the new aero, maybe it's like something they did with aero, maybe it's just the way the wind was, but like I had so much momentum in that middle line. Like once I was able to get down there, I was like, oh my god, I can hold this like it's a white line. And like coming out of 4, my thought was, oh well Trost is gonna go right to the bottom. All right, we're gonna drag race. Maybe Jacob or Rob or somebody behind me will try to fill that hole, but it's okay. I can hold this line. And he in fact did not go to the apron. Jacob beat him there. And yeah, that was wild. I don't finish these races at all. So honest to God, I was just glad to finish it all as opposed to second. I have done no laps until the session popped pretty much, so I forgot how this car feels at Daytona, and yeah, it's fine. No, like I said, we're all buddies. Me, Jacob, Rob, everybody else. Like I try not to get too upset about things like that. So yeah, all fair play there. That's just super speedway racing in these cars.
Well, you had a pretty good pit stop also when we hit green flag pit stops at that one point. You made up a lot of track position on your stop. A lot of people were making mistakes, and I guess part of the battle here is just come to pit road and make it nice and easy by the book. Don't do anything fancy, and you pick up a bunch of spots.
Yeah, you're not used to going like 400 kilometers an hour. Like. You can convert that, however you want, but like you're not used to going like that in one of these cars. So like I just kind of put the brake bias all the way back, and I still locked the fronts up a little bit. And I was like, all right, just get to the speed limit, and I like just got there. So a shout out to Alex Vandesant too, who wasn't here, but I learned from the best when it comes to pit entry. So just gotta kind of work on that maybe a little bit more. But yeah, no, that was fun. These races they're interesting. They're really interesting, and I'm honestly happy to finish pretty well. I'm happy to be get back to the old fixed stuff every now and then with my limited availability. But I will gladly take this for the team.
Shout outs, friends, family, sponsors.
Okay, hi Maria, you're in the room next to me. Hi, hello, hi, I love you. Let's see here. Dobby the cat is right behind me. You guys at P1, the Fiercely Forward family had a hell of a race. It's great to see Kevin D really coming on strong here as a full-time competitor, along with Burrell and Chris and everybody else on the team, in the open series. Hopefully, once I move, I can, get back to having a little bit more seat time on Monday nights. P1 Docs, Apex Tech Sim. I think my dad's watching. Hi, Dad, too. He likes watching you guys. He said you guys are entertaining, so, take that as you wish. You don't want to hear the stuff that he says when I'm guest starring on commentary. Am I forgetting anybody else? Gary? I don't know
I don't know, but if you do, just show up for race 2 and get on the podium again.
Oh God, I think I might join you in the booth, but I need drink.
Well, go get a drink.
Do a tag, no, we can do a tag team. I go to outside and you come into in. If you want.
Oh, LGN Racing? What?
No.
Oh, you got me.
No.
Sorry.
I have to go I have to do something else. So we can clack and you coming in, fight, and then I coming down and
it's a work night for LGN, so he might have to go to bed early. So if you want to join us, go ahead and you can step in for LGN.
All right.
Well, we'll catch you.
But yeah, thanks.
All right, no problem.
We
will catch you in a little bit. Congratulations on the P3 or P2 here today, and we will see you in a little bit, whether it's on the racetrack or in the booth.
Yeehaw.
See ya. Bye. And here is Jacob Austin. Jacob, sorry to make you wait. We just have a little extra time on our hands right now. But, man, speaking of time, you wasted none of it coming off of turn 4, getting to the bottom. I'm guessing that was the plan. Just get to the bottom before anybody else.
Yeah, thanks for Rob for seeing the opening before I did, so it worked out. I didn't really expect to murder 12 people after that, but you know, I'm gonna call it a clean kill because that's like a mega kill, you know. I don't know what the Dota sound is, but you know, this track is just a crapshoot, so may as well make the ending crappy.
Other than that, we kind of followed you through the race, kind of doing the fall to the back, get a big run, see if you can set the fastest lap. You did set the fastest lap. He did a 250.6 at one point. So we did see you doing that. That is always part of the, I guess, fun and games when you guys kind of run here is that you fall to the back and get that big lap, and then when you see it up on the board. But it doesn't pay anything, but it sure feels good.
Oh, it does. I mean, I don't think it's the fastest lap of the week. I think that's a 38.3. So we got some work to do, but I'm probably not touching this for the rest of the week. I have Mid-Ohio IIS to run and 4th of July to celebrate.
Rightfully so. Well, big win here. Now, interesting enough, a couple seasons ago, you came pretty close to winning the Triple Crown. We have an unofficial Grand Slam this season. We have Daytona. We're going to go to Indianapolis next. And then we have, let's see, later this season, I think we're going to finish up at Michigan. And I'm not sure what we got. Pocono in the middle there somewhere? Yeah, Pocono. So you now, sir, are the only one that has a shot at getting the Grand Slam. So I haven't declared a cash prize, but I am declaring a cash prize for any driver that could win the Grand Slam. So there you go. Something to race for later here in this season.
So you're saying I could take some of your money and then $100 of Mark's money in December?
You could take more money, yeah.
That's good.
I'll do it.
Okay, sure. Any shout outs, friends, family, sponsors, anyone you want to say hi to before we let you get on out of here?
Thanks, Jason Brophy, for screaming all the time and missing the race because he had to update his iRacing. And
it was a quick update. It shouldn't have been that long.
And then for Rob for being in there. And unfortunately, we cannot get him in the positive iRating scheme today. It was a -4 day. So just unfortunate out there. But, you know, it's Daytona. It's always a shit show. So I'm just happy to walk out of there alive.
Well, congratulations on the win. We will catch you at the next race, but get your practice in for IS. Tomorrow night we'll be on the air for the 9 p.m. race if you show up for that one.
All right. Well, I'll be there, so I'll see you guys then.
We'll see ya. That is Jacob Oster, your winner tonight, the Wormman. Wow. Guys, we have plenty of time before the next race. We will take a small intermission break, but thoughts here on this first race, Justin, and then we'll go to Lewis. Thoughts here on this first race. I thought it was a very, very clean and good racing first 3 quarters of this race. And kind of in the last quarter of these races, like we always see when we get to these beam races, the elbows come out.
Yes. Just yes.
Just yes.
Okay.
Lewis?
I just wonder how Antonio Estrada is feeling right now.
Well, you did get a top 5. You can't be feeling that bad. Lewis, what do you think of tonight? It's kind of what we expected, but not a bad opening to everything. I mean, the first 3 quarters of this race, caution-free. We saw green flag pit stops, and then after that, it just kind of went the way that we see meme races go here with the IndyCar series when they get to these tracks. It's just everyone gets on top of one another, and it's just really hard to keep the car off the car in front of you, behind you, just because, well, we don't have bumpers.
Yeah, the car is really, really... Well, Oster did the fastest lap for fun, and then he make that attack make me laugh, because this is really what I saw make the turn. It's like a boom. He put the car on the to the left, and Tross said, "No, you don't want to pass for him." That's what I think. He said, "You don't want to pass for him," and he said, like, "Nope, I will," and he crossed the line in the track. So, but it was really funny race, and always Daytona is not like always like this. So it's entertainment outside, but it's not funny inside. It's really stressful. I remember I raced maybe at least maybe 10 times over there before, in a couple of leagues also too. And it's not funny. Actually, it's not funny to race over there, because it's not race. It's not strategy. It's just pushing, and have the best momentum, like Ulster did. It's just the opportunist to be on the front. So good for Ulster. He's the one chance. Maybe next one, if he win in Indy, could be after Pocono and the end on the season. It could be Michigan. Who knows? If it's happened like this, it's gonna be Gary a little bit poor, because
It's all right. It's all right.
price.
It's all right. You know, you don't.
It's a good thing. Actually, it's a really good thing.
It's. I mean, we only see Daytona and Indianapolis on the same schedule only twice in the history of
But I have a question.
Go ahead.
Keep going.
Well, I mean, we've only seen Indianapolis and the oval at Indianapolis and the oval at Daytona twice in the entire history of Indy Fixed and Indy Oval on iRacing. We've only seen it on the same schedule twice before today. This is the third time this has ever happened, that we've had Indy and Daytona on the same schedule. So I figure if you're going to do that, I mean, make it worthwhile. It doesn't happen very often, does it?
Yeah, for sure. It's a good. But the question is, what if somebody won Pocono, Indy, and Michigan this season? It's not count the prize.
It would be the Triple Crown, but I guess that's just the luck of being that we have.
Maybe somebody,
maybe someone will.
Said, "Oh, yeah, I want these 3 races, but I don't want Daytona. I don't count it like a Triple Crown." So let's be realistic. But yeah, it's gonna be a good like a challenge for Ulster to go into there. So yeah, good race. I'm gonna see the race tomorrow for sure for that because I have to check the result. But yeah, good race, and I hope the people stay until 10:15.
I hope so. Yeah, we got about 45 minutes until that next one. But you know, Jacob came real close to getting the Triple Crown a couple seasons ago. Won 2 of the 3. Now he got the hardest one out of the way. I really think that the Daytona race would be the hardest one to get the win at, and then maybe the Michigan race would be the next hardest one to get the win at. But we know
I think Indy is the most hardest.
I think he definitely has the laps at Indy and Pocono to get the win there for sure, though.
Because Michigan is, I don't want to say this, but it's just track. If you have a good track in the momentum track, it could make a win like he did today. But Indy is a strategy and Pocono is also a strategy. So that's the 2 hardest he have to beat.
And here is that finish once again as he got to the bottom apron as quicker than anyone else. and gets the win. Just like that. So, everybody stick close. What we'll do is we will put up the intermission screen, and then we'll just have some music playing in the background. We will take a little bit of a break, maybe come back here in about 15 minutes or so. Actually, we got quite a bit of time before the next race, really. We might just kind of wait a little bit longer than that. We'll keep everybody updated in chat, but don't turn the stream off. We'll keep it going. And we will pick back up. 10:15 is race 2. We are definitely showing that one way or another. So if you be back by 10:15, you will watch us pick up the coverage of that race. So don't go anywhere. I want to thank the guys at Topia Systems. They're the presenting sponsor of the Tuesday Night Top Split here on P1. I want to thank them for being the sponsors here for race 1 and race 2 tonight. Topia Systems is where quality and affordability go full throttle. From custom rigs to powerful pre-builds, Topia delivers top-tier performance without all the sticker shock. While you got a chance to wait here in between races, make sure to check out Topia. The links are in the description. Built with premium parts and backed by a team that cares. Every system is tuned for gaming greatness. If they don't like the graphics you see here tonight, this is a Topia system. So if you're in the market for a new rig, make sure you check out Topia as soon as you can. Built right, price right, built right, price right. Game on. To learn more, like I said, check out everything is in the description. Stand by. Don't go anywhere. We're gonna go to intermission, but we will catch you here in a little bit for race 2 of the Tuesday night top split here on P1. And we're back, and we're just joining a little bit of bonus action here, part of the 9:15 race. Just under caution, first caution of the day. Pretty bad accident after the first round of pit stops. Coming up to speed, number 16, Mason Hannell, did a very bad rejoin and spun out in front of basically the entire pack of cars and got collected and took out pretty much half the field on that one. But Casey Povolonis, who we see during the Vote of Indy Oval Series, is your leader. He managed to survive all that. Vitor Garami, we also see in some of our regular coverage here on P1. He is second. Clindy is in third. Brian Campbell's in fourth. Now, those two, I believe, came to pit road a little early, so they managed to avoid the big wreck. Ty Quilla is in fifth. So IndyCar regulars in the top five right now. Then we got Kyle Francis, Lee Miller. That his name is my name too, and P6 there. William Holman in seventh, Joseph Klein in eighth, Chad Robinson in ninth, and Dylan Moskowitz, another one of the IndyCar community regulars, in 10th. But the field is really narrowed down. 26 started, and we are just a little bit more than half the field remaining here, and we're just past the halfway point as boredom is now setting in to people using the inner loop or the bus stop here on the backstretch.
Yeah,
back with me. I started I didn't get a chance to introduce you back again, but back with me is Justin Benchauer. Justin, boredom setting in here, lap 30 of 50.
Yeah, looking back on the replay there, since the replay system on my end did not want to work properly. Yeah, that was he got a little gung-ho there and didn't realize you cannot go that fast on the apron here at Daytona. You can get away with it at Talladega, but not here at Daytona, because you go from a literal flat surface to a 31-degree baking, so to say. And when something like that happens, yeah, bad things follow.
And, you know, these cars, even in the super speedway configuration, only at that speed, he was still coming up the speed. He wasn't at full speed. At full speed, they produce anywhere between 1,200 and 1,500 pounds of downforce. At that speed, he was maybe half downforce. So even on a flat apron like that, you're not getting the full use of the car and its downforce to keep you on the apron. And that's kind of what happens. Clindy shoots the middle there. 3Y going into 3, and Clindy slides in front of Povolonis and moves to the lead. Bonus coverage here. This is the 9:15 top split race. This is, I think, a 3.4K.
Yes, it is. Also joining us in the booth, hey, Nick! Did you, how was the Infield Care Center visit after that wild race in the first one?
Back is very sore. Extremities intact, so we're okay. Ooh, got a little bit of a incident in the mid-pack there. Somebody tapping some wall. Ty Keela not too happy over the radio chatter right now. But it can get dicey here, especially after those restarts. People like the jockey for position here.
Yeah, jockey a little too much, especially with how narrow the surface is, especially going into 3 and 4.
It looks wide out there, but Nick, I mean, you were just out there. It looks wide, but when you go 3 wide, it all of a sudden not as wide as you thought it was.
No, it's you know, that comparison you made, I think, in the last broadcast about like Talladega compared to Daytona. This is definitely not Talladega. No, it rips you once you get on the track. There is just enough room for 3 wide all the way around. But the moment there's a little netcode hiccup, or the moment there's a little bit of a bobble, somebody touches the apron, it is disastrous. There's not a lot of room to make moves to evade any sort of incident here.
Wesley Johnson in the Kirkwood Chili's livery has set the fastest lap of the day at a 250.8.
Yeah, shout out to Chili's. Not an ad. Hashtag not an ad, but you know, that was at Indy. That was my race after fuel. You know, with the little hangover coming on there from the early morning. Chili's always hits a spot, guys, and that livery hits a spot too.
I appreciate Chili's throwing a little bit of sponsorship money IndyCars way. That's good. And it's a good-looking car, too.
It is. It is.
Chili's baby back ribs. Oh my God! What are we doing here?
Kyle Francis Lee Miller, like I said, his name is my name too. He is currently riding the high side and turns 3 and 4 on the high side. Oh, and he just runs right over Ty. I'm sure Ty is very happy about that.
I will not lift ever again. End quote from Ty. Oh, he's ripping the high line. He's thinking about it.
And
he's actually.
And now 3 wide Rogue Racing controls the front from top to bottom and turns 3 and 4.
They are bobbling left and right.
Everybody behind the main pack here has backed off because of what just was
They see it happening. It just they see the future. It just hasn't happened yet.
If they can sense it. Their spidey sense is tingling.
If Ty can,
it's just like, guys, let's just back off because all hell's about to break loose.
if Ty can just like get a sniff of that draft off of Kyle, he actually could.
Wesley Johnson over the radio just said he hit 258 in the draft.
That's fine. That's normal.
Yeah, that's normal here.
Oh, 4 wide for a second there.
No.
Oh. That was a little sketchy. And yet they somehow made it all through. Still side by side, at least 3 rows deep going down the Daytona super stretch here. It's going to be interesting to see if Ty Quilla keeps to his word because he said he's not driving nice anymore.
That second group has caught the first group. They're building up the courage. It's like, I think I can do it now. They seem to be behaving. Let me get up there.
Yeah, it ebbs and flows here a little bit. Ebbs and flows, and pretty soon there'll be a lot of ebb and then
no flow.
We all thought the same thing. Oh, look at the high side there going into turn 3. I can't tell who that is, but they are all the way up on the high side there.
That is Ty Quilla.
Yep, that's Ty Quilla there. He's trying to make the run, but it's not going to be enough. He has to slot back in. And he gets the door slammed shut on him. He is not happy about that.
I'm telling you, Ty might just say, you know what, I got nothing to lose anymore, and I am just sending Kyle Francis Lee Miller. He's going to send him for a 5th name here.
We just got an update from the Infield Care Center in regards to what happened with Antonio Estrada, the boss man, after that horrendous wreck to finish the first race. It was nice knowing y'all. But back to the action at hand here. Look at, oh my God, who is that on the high side there, past the start finish, right behind the main pack here. They had a tremendous run going down the front stretch here, going into turn 1.
Clindy, Casey Povolonis, Brian Campbell, Kyle Francis Lee Miller in 4th. William Holman up into now 5th down to 6th. Ty up to 5th. Andrew Allen in 7th. Ron Doherty in 8th. Joseph Klein in 9th. And Vitor Guilherme in the Leader Energy Squad livery there. He is in 10th.
Oh, leaders have a problem here. They have a slow car up ahead of them. This is going to be really sketchy if they catch him in the turns. They can get away with it going down the straightaway, down the backstretch here mainly, but if they catch him in the turns, it's not going to be pretty here.
We'll ride with Clindy. 246, 247, 248, 249, going into 3. He's going to have a big run on the high side, but he's going to wait till the last second to pull out. There he goes. And he is passing James Peters there, goes back to the bottom, gets on the yellow line. Big run on the high side. Casey Povolonis might just clear him, doesn't quite clear him. Now he does.
Yep. There it is.
Such good racing here. Even though it's pack racing, this is actually surprisingly good with all the chaos that's been happening.
I think this is the time where people are going to really start to get aggressive here. You're going to see Ty just through a little bit of a fade to the run behind him.
Joseph
Again,
Klein
nothing
there in the
too
yellow
crazy.
submarine.
But yeah, you're going to see more of that as we get down 6-5 to go. And it's just going to get crazier as we get towards the finish here.
Already a couple cars there back behind this main group here that have mounted up a huge run going down the Daytona Superstretch into turn 3. They mounted that run, but then they slot back in because they know they're going to hit that brick wall of air, essentially. And it's very, very turbulent here at these speeds.
Another thing these drivers got to watch out for, too, guys, is checkups. Like, I'll point out, like, what Jacob did, lifting off just to get a little bit of a gap to get a better run.
Yeah.
Going towards that final finish, final run to the finish, rather. And if you aren't paying attention and you're in 6th, 7th, 8th, and one of those leaders checks up,
Yeah.
as we go 3 wide in the middle,
Yeah, it's like
Yep,
hitting the
here we
brake.
go again.
With all the downforce these things produce, it's like hitting the brake. And, oh, Clindy wanted to clear himself, but he couldn't quite do it.
All 3 wide again as they come towards the start-finish line here. It's going to be 5 to go as they come to the line. 3 wide, 2 rows deep here. Anything can and will happen. Still 3 wide as they go off into turn number 1 here.
Oh, there's a little bit of a side check. I don't think Casey meant that. He might have actually got a little loose.
Oh,
Been on the
Kyle
bottom
Lee-
the whole time.
Kyle Francis Lee Miller bounced off the wall as they came off of turn 2. He has lost all that momentum now. He's going to have to slot back in.
He's going to have to build all that energy back up. Easy to do here in these cars, but it's also easy to lose the momentum because of all the downforce they produce. 4 to go. Qualifying run at Indianapolis. Here we go. 10 miles.
And apparently somebody has sarcastically gone to plus 20 on the weight checker. That is not going to go well.
Actually, that you don't want to go plus 20 on the weight checker here, don't you, Nick?
no.
That's
no,
more
you're,
drag. That is more drag.
That's more drag.
That's
You're
right.
lifting that rear end up.
And to the lead, Clindy, and then I was Austin Bloom in the Visa car sliding up and down the backstretch, but Clindy back to the lead. Now he has a teammate to his right side, screen left. That is Ty Quill in the green car. And then 2 cars behind. So you have the VRL car, Povolonis, right behind, and also Clindy has VRL, but they're not teammates. They just share the same sponsor. Povolonis in the black and red car, right behind Clindy in the teal car, right behind Clindy and Povolonis. That is Ryan Campbell. That is another one of the Rogue Racing teammates.
Huge run on the high side here. Huge run.
Oh, almost contact there as well.
The Blue Angels scheme. Running out of room up there. Oh, there's contact, and we are going to go caution, and that is the race right there. The race is done. Clindy wins.
That is Chad Robinson.
And we saw that coming here. We saw who was the red car? I think that might have been Ron Doherty in the 24 there.
Oh, netcode struck again.
He goes out to the I don't know. He just kind of goes right out to the wall. Mega push.
Yeah, but when he bounced off the wall and came back down, he bounced up into Chad Robinson there, but it was netcode, the slightest of netcode contact, though.
Well, that's going to be it for the race. That will be Clindy, your winner. Ty Quill will be second. So Rogue Racing first and second step on the podium. Casey Provolones, who started on the pole for this race, was up front all day long today. Good race for Casey. Casey at the bat comes home in third. And that is your podium. Joseph Klein in the Yellow Submarine. He was marred deep in beyond the top 10 with about 4 or 5 laps to go. He is now inside the top 10 and a top 5 for him. He is coming home in 4th. Brian Campbell in 5th spot. Francis Lee Miller. Kyle Francis Lee Miller. He comes home in 6th. Did not make very many friends, I don't think, in that race. William Holman in 7th. Dylan Moskowitz, another top 10 for Dylan. There in the Dallas Stars livery. Andrew Allen in 10th. And Gary May in 10th spot there. Andrew Allen, in 9th. So we do have a Larson livery that looks like they might have cracked the top 10. So it wouldn't be a Daytona race. It wouldn't be a Daytona IndyCar race without a Larson livery in the top 10.
Guys, I also do have some bad news in regards to Chad Robinson's scheme. There was a lot of old Milwaukee that was spilled on the track because of that.
Is it old Milwaukee?
And nothing of value was lost.
Yeah, there is an old Milwaukee. Yep. He's got a broken back wing there. Ron Doherty had he had a Milwaukee Tools scheme there. So a lot of Milwaukee going on.
Milwaukee Granger Tools.
So Glenny's going to get a win. It's not going to necessarily help him in the points championship because this is a 3.4. He'll get some points out of this.
And Vitor over the radio. And this is probably why I shouldn't do Daytona anymore this week.
Brian Campbell's going to try to come the inside, get a bit of a photo finish here for the Rogue Racing squad. And there they are. That is your race bonus coverage as we are preparing for race number 2 here at the 10:15 point. So these guys will hurry off here and get ready to go for 10:15. And we will just keep the audio open here as we bring up the intermission card one more time as we get ready to load in for the next session. Thanks for sticking around, everybody. We really, 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 really appreciate it. There's still 45 of you watching right now. That is pretty amazing. Again, the morbid curiosity of IndyCars at Talladega is sometimes enough to do it, doesn't it, Nick?
Did you just call it Talladega again?
Did I say Talladega?
Yep,
that's the morbid curiosity of IndyCars at Talladega and Daytona. Jeez.
In fairness, let's talk a little bit about history for a minute. There was attempts to have a race here in Daytona in IndyCar.
There was one race, one official race, yes.
There was one official race. There is a reason why we don't go back. I kind of said that in the interview after race 1. It is the beauty of sim racing, though, that we can do stuff like this and experiment with not just the car itself, but the full boost with the extra 300 RPM, like it's pushed to pass. Like it is a wild experiment that iRacing has allowed us to do here, and it always pays off, whether it's at Daytona, whether it's at Talladega, whether it's at the fictional iRacing superspeedway. You know, it is a very nice what if to answer, but you do have to have a lot of trust with everybody around. As you can tell, you know, sometimes, especially when we get like community members, you know, a lot of NASCAR regulars coming in, et cetera, who might not be as attuned to the car's width and whatnot. Mm-hmm. It can play a lot of wild cards into how smooth a race goes. And I think, what you kind of saw there at the end of that little bit of bonus coverage in between is a good example of that. But honest to God, I think that the racing here has been really, really clean. But yeah, that you could not do this in real life at all. It is beyond dangerous.
Yeah, as mentioned, the Daytona 100 was the opening race of the 1959 USAC Champ Car season. Jim Rathman won the race. His brother Dick Rathman won the pole with an incredible speed of a 173.210 in a roadster. Now, go back to, you might be able to find pictures in the Indianapolis Motor Speedway Museum of some of the old roadsters. Go look those up. Forward engine, skinny tires, cockpit in the back, open to the world, drivers probably wearing some sort of leather cap at best, maybe a set of goggles at best, and that's about it. And he was doing 173.21 miles an hour. They weren't even at 173. They didn't even broke 150 at Indianapolis at that point in IndyCar's history in Indianapolis. They only went 140 at Indianapolis for the pole that year. Then they went 173. So as you can see, the situation and the recipe was kind of ripe for something bad to happen, and it did. And at the end of the race, kind of the driver said, we really don't want to come back and run the oval again. And as a result, the oval was removed from the schedule, but there were still tickets out there that were sold. And as we talked about through a couple of circumstances, that led to really the birth of the Firecracker 400 later that season, because it was supposed to be a second USAC race, USAC Champ Car race that was supposed to be over July 4th holiday, and that's ultimately what was canceled. Now, IndyCar did come back here for compatibility tests on the road course in 2006 and 2007. They used the combined road course and moto course, one of the smaller infield road courses. If you do some searching online, you will find some pictures of the cars racing at the start-finish line. It says Daytona along the wall there. Some nice pictures. I believe there's one of Tony Kanaan and his old 7-Eleven ride. I believe there's some Penske cars out there that you could see and they were still in their old kind of Marlboro livery. Yeah, they did do a little bit of a maybe at best maybe make it a spring training site, or actually at worst make it a spring training site, at best maybe make it a place where they would come and race at, and nothing ever really came more of that particular situation. Maybe one of these days, maybe we see them on the sports car road course, but I don't know. I really doubt it. But it's, as Nick says, the beauty of the sim that allows us to do what we're watching here today.
Well, there's not just photos. There's actually videos on YouTube, IRL Daytona testing, courtesy of Dr. Indy from that time period.
Yeah, and there's a number of educational videos on the lone IndyCar race at Daytona as well. I think NASCAR Man did one that was pretty good.
Yep.
There was also another one where I think NASCAR Man did another one concerning IndyCar possibly going to Talladega at one point. So I get to say Talladega one more time, and this time I purposely meant to say it. Yeah, there are some videos out there that you can, after watching this, find out for sure. But we're kind of showing you why they don't run there for real. And some of the wrecks we've seen tonight kind of proves why we don't want these cars to run here for real.
Yeah, it's a little brutal. No margin for error. Like, even like this would make racing at Texas, like in the IR05 days, like that big pack racing feel, that this makes it look like it's just like you're racing at like Circuit of the Americas, like nice and wide and easy and free. Yeah, but it is entertaining. God, it's entertaining.
It is entertaining. So we are about a minute and 35 seconds away from the 10-15 split going official. Always like to measure up how IndyCar does against other other series on the sim, and right now we are getting clobbered by trucks who are wanting to race at Daytona as well. 307 to 102. In terms of, come on, people, all those people that drive a truck, you don't want to try IndyCar at almost said it again, at Daytona. Come on, guys. Come on, guys. Give it a shot. Give it a shot.
Oh, yeah, what's an extra like 70, 80 miles an hour? You know,
Maybe it's too much for them. I don't know. I mean, these cars aren't easy to drive. So some of the names that ran or tried to qualify for that race when IndyCar tried to run here back in 1959, of course, Dick Rathman, Jim Rathman on the front row, Roger Ward, former Indy 500 winner, Elmer George, who qualified 5th in that race. That is Tony George's father. He married into this is the lucky guy that married into the Holman family. A bit of a checkered past for Elmer George. Go read about it, but he did marry into the family. Eddie Sachs back on row 4. George Amick, who unfortunately died, back on row 5. Tony Bettenhausen Sr., who is the father of Tony Bettenhausen Jr., of course, and Gary Bettenhausen. He qualified back on in row 10 or 10 spot. AJ Foyt qualified back in row and 14th spot. Pat Flattery, former Indy 500 winner, back in row 9. But some names that failed to qualify. Jerry Unser, that is Bobby and Al Unser's oldest brother. He was injured in a practice crash, did not qualify. And another name here that a lot of people don't recognize, but you'll recognize the last name when I say it. But there is a driver that didn't qualify named Bob Said. Yes, that is Boris Said's dad. And he was among the drivers that attempted to qualify for the very first IndyCar race here at Daytona. So when you see Boris Said, there's a little bit of tie back to history is there as well.
I genuinely had no idea that his dad was a racer. I had no idea.
So we are
Thanks
waiting.
For the history lesson.
Yeah, we are waiting for the next set of splits to become available here. We should have about 4 or 5 of them at least. And we will get into race number 2 officially.
I hate to say it, Gary, but my voice is just cracked, and I don't think I'm going to be able to.
All right, we got Nick Sadiq here, so we got you, man. We got you. Go ahead and take a break, and we will catch you in a week.
I'll probably pop in tomorrow post race for IIS.
Okay, yeah. Good luck with IIS tomorrow. Yeah, for sure. We'll see you then.
Yeah, I'm going to absolutely need it after the past 2 years of running there and getting absolutely shellacked by people that don't know what the heck they're doing.
Always an adventure turning into turn 1 at Mid-Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, good luck in the broadcast.
All right, you take care, buddy. That is Justin Peschauer leaving us, trying to save his voice, the ambassador of the IndyCar iRacing Series. Tomorrow, 9 p.m. Eastern, we will be doing a top split race, me and Antonio Estrada at Mid-Ohio. Normally, we have those on Saturday, but we decided that, people might not want to race on a holiday weekend. So we'll just get that out of the way early as we are loading into the next session here. Getting ready to go racing one more time for another 50 laps, 125 miles for the high banks of Daytona. IndyCars rolling the dice one more time.
Yeah, rolling the dice, not in Vegas, but on the shores of the Atlantic and lovely, sunny, even though it's a dark night session, Florida. That does beg the question, like getting back to what we were talking about earlier while we're waiting to load in here. What is your dream track to have these cars run at? Some people say have it at the Charlotte Roval. Some people are do a European round at Imola or Monza or something of the like. Do you have anything like that in your mind?
A dream track to see IndyCar race at. I think right now, I'd love to see them return to Michigan. I think that's I just want to see a proper IndyCar track that's historically been an IndyCar track that everyone universally wants to see. And I think they can make it in a way so it's not going to be a pack race. I think that's everyone's concern. But I'd love to see them return to Michigan. I guess that's my dream. Now in the sim, there's a lot of things I'd love to see in the sim. You know, I'd love to see the sim, even though they're not in the business of kind of bringing back racetracks of old. I'd love to see them, Texas World Speedway. I'd love to see Ontario. That'd be awesome to see, race these IR18s at Ontario. That'd be awesome. Maybe even get places like Riverside. The one that everyone seems that they would love to see again, in Nazareth. Just some of these tracks that are no longer around that IndyCar traditionally ran at and made it kind of their home tracks for a long time until kind of the split or whatever happened. But that would be. I mean, what's kind of your thought of a dream track you like to see them at? I'm guessing yours might be a little bit more road ready racing wise.
Yeah, I mean, seeing these cars like in real life. Well, and then I'll do like a sim kind of selection too, real quick. I mentioned Monza.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like seeing these cars at Monza would be a fantastic fit. Just because of the high speed, they have a little less drag than your Formula One car for obvious reasons. And they're a little bit more of a handful. I would love to see these even for a European round or something of the like, go to Mangicore actually, because they don't have a lot of top tier road racing there. And with Pagano being such an ambassador, I think it'd be a great way to kind of get a little bit more of a foothold, since they do have momentum in a worldwide audience, to go there. It's a fantastic track. It's small. It's not as big as some of your larger Grade 1 tracks that you have nowadays. Mm-hmm. But I think those two would be fantastic. And then Michigan, obviously, too, for obvious reasons. Like you said, just to see the raw power of these cars, and you can do aero configs with it. But as for like a fantasy track in the sim, you gotta have Ontario. You got Ontario, man. That is such a throwback. As well as and this is my bias showing, and I get to mention this for the first time this year on the broadcast. What about the Cleveland,
yeah,
Lakefront Airport? That temple of speed right there. It's a wild track. If you've never driven a mod of it or driven it in other sims, because it is available in a couple other sims, drive it. It is wild to drive.
I think it's is it Assetto Corsa? You can race it in Assetto Corsa.
Assetto Corsa has there's a couple mods for it, and then
with a 90s style IndyCar, I think.
Yeah, and then Automobilista 2, I think, has like a 90s style, I think, kart mod as well too. But
Brendan Trost says Monza Oval. If they die, they die. Yeah. I think the Monza combined course would be interesting. I mean, IndyCar has run there before historically, not in these cars, but the race between two worlds back in the 50s, they raced on the combined course, and it was kind of a IndyCar versus Formula One All-Star race. So they have raced there before. I would love to see the Monza combined course. Of course, that would never happen. The oval is a mess. I understand they would have to really fix that up. But he also says, Walt Disney World, is that still around? No, it's not. They have actually bulldozed that place to turn it back into the parking lot that they tried to take away from the employees there. They used they squeezed it. I don't understand, with all the land that Disney has, they had to squeeze it right there. They couldn't put it out on another parcel of land that was, I don't know, maybe easier to get to, or I don't know. But yeah, it's no longer there. But that is one of the tracks I would love to see in the sim. But unfortunately, I don't think we would ever see it in the sim because of the keywords in front of it, Walt Disney World, or the 3 words, Walt Disney World, in front of the name. I would imagine that has a pretty big license tied to it.
Yeah, there is that's a lot to do, but But that's not to say they couldn't, they have the schematics and the dimensions that are easy to find. You can rebuild it.
Oh yeah, I would love to see that. We in our course of travels through the sim racing world here, we have run into some real world IndyCar drivers and some that actually raced in IndyCar at the time when they went to the Walt Disney World Speedway. And in the words of a driver that raced there and in a couple of races, that was probably one of the hairiest tracks he said he ever raced on. And I think a lot of it had to do with how abrupt that turn 3 wall kind of came up and got you so quickly. And a number of drivers, careers were ended on that wall. Careers were almost ended on that wall. So I can definitely see what he's talking about there. But we are getting ready to go racing. Qualifying is done. And the guy that asked the question about Walt Disney World, Brendan Truss, the king of the heels, is currently going to be your pole sitter.
Yeah, it's good to see Brandon back. He was kind of thinking about running this, kind of thinking not, thinking about the points, but he's a competitor, he's a fighter. He wants to get some retribution. I think knowing him, he feels like he might have gotten robbed a little bit in that first featured race, and I guarantee he's going to be staying up near the front here.
And he's on the pole with a speed of 2:39.9. Right next to him, T. Rich in a spot that he's very used to seeing up front. He has himself a lap of 2:39.9. Casey Povolonis, who we just saw take the podium in the last race, and also on the pole in the last race, is lining up third with a 2:39.5. Dave Mitchell, Mitch, outside of row 2, 2:39.5. And then another Mitch, Mason Mitchum, back in row 3 with Michael Newcomer, both in the 2:39 neighborhood. Stephen Lee looking for a better race than race 1. He's back on row 4 with Joseph Klein. And then we have Richard Vasquez. He's probably going to be in that Glidden Menards livery there it is that we always used to see him in. He's back in 9th spot in row 5, and it is a Truman show tonight. Connor Truman. I think this is the first time we've ever seen him on the Top Split broadcast. He's back in row 5 in the 10th spot with a speed of 2:38.6. Moving on, William Sapala back in row 6, right next to Clendy, the defending series champion. He is back in row 6. Ryan Campbell, his teammate, as well as Ty Quilla. Back in row 7. Campbell trying to go as slow as you can go. Campbell lap of 99.06712 miles per hour. That's what he qualified in at. Ty Quilla says, I'll bet you one better than that, and I just won't turn a lap at all. He will line up on the outside of row 7. Moskowitz and Pellick back in row 8. Solis Jr. I think the safety rating might have went down a little bit more. He's probably below a 1.80 now, I think. He's in the row 9 with Mauricio on the outside. Cato and Gilson on row 10.
Oh,
we got a
no.
spin. Who is that?
I'm looking it up right now. What?
Trying to see who it is. Is it Gil? No,
idea.
it was. I don't know who that was.
It was Truman. Truman is back on the grid. Oh no, I don't think he has a wing. Uh-oh.
No, he doesn't.
Uh-oh.
And Pollock and Murray on row 11. So we will get that off. And we are going to go racing. It's going to be kind of a ragtag start here. I got the other overlay up.
Green flag, green flag.
All right, here we go, and we are off.
Brandon Trost is going to start from pit road. That moved Casey Povolonis up to the lead. I'm gonna restart my overlay here. Things are happening.
Sorry, there's a little commentary about that start. Somebody said, "Hey, we thought that Trost was gonna take the lead off of that start because it was so slow." Whoa!
And I think making his bonsai move to the front is solid.
That was bold.
It's Sean Pellig on the high side, but I think Solis Jr. was back there as well. And we got 3 Larson liveries in this race.
Solis is digging actually right now on that second line. It's all free wants to get to the front. The chaos we've seen so far in that mid-pack, I don't blame him one bit. We actually have... Is that 3 Larson liveries now together?
Yeah. Yeah, we do. Yeah, they're all together right there, and we've seen this before, and it's only at the meme races, I call it, and rightfully so.
It genuinely is a good looking car. It genuinely is.
It is, but guys, if you need another IndyCar livery, we could get you a better one.
I've got plenty of references.
I know. I mean, a Domino's hot one, anyone? Let's see. How about the Craco Special? How about any one of AJ Foyt's liveries? The Miller American. Down to the bottom. Everyone lining up. There we go. Yeah.
Everybody's kind of settled in here. Got coming up to lap number 5. 4 in the books now. Lap 5 of 50. Thank you all for joining us yet again. As Gary always likes to say, you're watching P1's coverage of the doubleheader of the Daytona meme race here for season 3.
Season 3
of 2025. God, this year is flying by so quick.
I know.
Rocky start, little bit of little incident off the start, but things have kind of settled down here so far.
Ross Cotto on the outside there.
It's another name we have not seen.
Yeah, well, this is kind of, and again, nothing against these drivers. It's, when you see Indy cars coming up on a draft, big track pack, and here comes Stephen Lee, one of the series regulars to the front. You see IndyCar on one of these big plate tracks, as they're called. You want to get in here, you want to experience this. But really, there is a strategy to drive these cars. It is more than just putting the left foot down and turning left, which is very easy to do here in these cars here at these tracks. But there's the whole strategy of, if we go green, you got green flag pit stops. How often do you practice those? You also know that as long as you're in the draft, you're never really out of this thing. The draft envelope in these cars is 1.5 seconds. 1.5 seconds in these cars is huge here at a track this big, because you're going so fast that as long as you're within that envelope, you're good to go. So I think you see a lot of these drivers that don't drive this car very often to make that run to the front, because that's what they feel like they could do, while kind of those that run this car on a regular basis always realize that even though these races are kind of set up to be sprints, there is a little bit of a marathon aspect to them.
Yeah, you have to really kind of decide which route you want to go early on. We talked about the first race almost came down to fuel save. If you save enough fuel, and I think that's what Trost was doing with staying.
Him and Fraporti saved a ton of fuel on that first race. They did like 35 laps, something like that, and then Fraporti, when he came out of the pits on the short fill, came out in front of all you guys.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, even myself, if I had somebody else with me to swap with, I waited before like the rest of the front runners that ended up being, there at the end, after the caution. Before that caution fell, I was just getting caught from that group that pitted early. So there is that, but also you got to stay away from the calamity. You're going 235, 240 plus, and there's not a lot of time to react, and there's a lot of unpredictability with the way the cars will bounce off of that safer barrier or come up and down the track, or somebody hitting the apron, as we almost see look like either Mauricio or Lee up there. I think it was Mauricio tagged the apron almost.
Here comes Dave Mitchell up the middle. And the track racing sponsored entry. Dave won one of the early races of last season, was a points leader for much of the season. Looking for a little bit of redemption this season. And he is currently doing pretty well tonight. He is in second place now, back to third. Povolonis is in second. Stephen Lee slides in front of Povolonis, makes Povolonis slide up a little bit, almost dings the side of Mitch's car down the super stretch.
Yeah, they're turning up the wick a little bit up there. I think they kind of see what's going on, and the one way that you can kind of counteract that fuel save, at least a little bit, like to the extent that Fraporti and others did last race, is you just go. You just got to go full bore, have a couple people up there with you, really pushing the pace, and that's it's gonna harm your fuel efficiency a little bit, but it's really gonna harm the ability for somebody else to really run in a lower fuel map, use less fuel, plus be able just to completely lift off the throttle too. So you kind of see that at work right now, I think, at least for the moment. We'll see how effective that is here in about 20 laps or so.
Big run. Tanner Richards on the high side, moving him up inside the top 10 now. T. Richard, points leader in the Indy Oval Series. Had himself a good finish. Finished on the podium in race number 1 in a 5K strength of field race. So he is going to cash those points in and extend his points league just a little bit. Dave Mitchell, your leader. Stephen Lee, second. Ross Caddo making his top split debut right here in race 2. Currently third, as we are now 13 of 50 into this thing. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Once again, if you're just joining us, this is P1's coverage of race 2 of our Tuesday night top split here in the IndyCar Oval Series and a meme race doubleheader weekend as we are at Daytona. About halfway through the fuel run for a lot of these drivers right now.
Yep, everybody's kind of just starting to jockey a little bit for position, anticipate, as you see High Keela pushing up as I say that, see them trying to start to close up to the pack now that they know that they've saved a couple extra laps of fuel. I would wait a little bit longer, because you really can, especially with the way that this car has been tweaked a little bit, you really can make a quick run from about like 2 seconds back to the next group of cars in front of you. You can make up about 2.5 seconds in a lap and a half if you are unimpeded. As we see, they're thinking about going 3 wide up at the front, but not really taking the bait on that just yet. But I don't know. It's starting to look a little hairy up there. Car's starting to bounce around a little bit. You see how they're just coming off of the corner a little bit tight and then getting a little loose. Handling isn't really that big of a deal with these cars at this track necessarily, but you can get a little bit squirrely, especially off of corner number 4.
2x2x2 for about 6 rows deep. High side starting to form up a little bit right now. Third line hasn't really come into play yet. A little bit. Some cars have gone up there to experiment, but you need to get a huge run on the high side in order to pull off the pass there in the third lane. Down at the start-finish line, side by side, series regulars, Stephen Lee, Dave Mitchell, sharing the lead at the points.
lot of points on offer, especially for some of those who did not have a good race last race. A little bit of a weaker strength of field in that first race as
We're going 3 wide. Yeah.
Keela going through the middle there, and they're going 3 wide up front. Action is picking up.
Ty is using his teammate there, Clindy. Clindy ducks out of the way. Ty's going to get a big run on the high side, and here he comes, the green car to the front. Now he backs off a little bit, knowing the run he had, but at one point, we were riding with Ty, and he went all the way to the back. And it's just how quickly you talked about it, that how quickly you can go from the front to the back to the back to the front, just like that here.
Yeah, that was... compared to the slowest car in that lap, Ty was almost 2.5 seconds faster on that lap, just by building that run and timing that right.
Here are your fastest laps. Ty does have a 250.4, and he is your fastest lap of the race.
I think he's going to wind up for another one here.
I think that's why I got the camera on him. I think he's getting ready to wind up for another one. As long as he stays within 1.5 seconds of the car in front of him, he's going to get a big run.
Yeah. And that's what you can do here. Oh my god, they are 3 wide up front, but you have to, like, this is the run you can make, and you just keep the camera on him. Look at this. Look at this overspeed you got. Now he's fully in the draft. Over 400 kilometers an hour.
251, 252, 253 as he pulls out. Still big run on the high side. 248 coming off the corner. Slides down. Now he's in the draft of Trost. 252, 253, 254. Come on, do we see 255? No, not quite. 254 going into the speed trap in 3. Now the big run through the corner. The high side. Who's in front of him there? That is Mauricio, I think.
Oh!
He put a big block on him. And Mauricio, the party pooper, says, no fun for you, Tyquilla. Go back to the back. Start over.
That was going to be... So his last fast lap was a 35.65 on the clock. That was gonna probably be like a 35.1 before he had to check up there. That's wild. That would have been over 2.5 seconds faster than the rest of the pack. Again, these are the margins we're dealing with here, folks. Like this is wild, and it's just gonna pick up as we start to inch closer towards potentially green flag pit stops, where the race really can be one of lost.
Here's a good shot of Peleg's car. Is he bump drafting? He's got to be bump drafting. He is right underneath the attenuator of Dave Mitchell. We're watching at. If you want a screenshot of your car, there you go.
No.
Peleg.
Brother, not in the tri-oval. No.
You're not supposed to bump draft in these things.
A lot of things can and will go wrong.
Yeah, they will be horrible. Oh, man.
I mean, he's right there. He's right there.
I mean, if Mitch cracks the throttle once, just a little bit, for any reason, or one of his USB inputs just decides it wants to reset real quick, that's a big accident.
Tell you what, though, Peleg is saving a ton of fuel by staying tucked in there, though. I mean, there is no air going over that car.
For all I know, Peleg might be an Air Force pilot and is used to mid-air refueling, and this is nothing for him. I don't know that, but that's about as close as he is. Look at it. Here he comes again. Oh, car on the outside, 3 wide. He needs to hold his line, be steady.
I did say it was going to get a little dicey as we started getting close to those pit stops.
I think we got some people coming to pit road here real soon. Newcomer on pit road right now in the Victoria's Secret's car. Secret is out. He's coming to pit road. He's going to split this in two. He just needs to come out with somebody. Hopefully he can come out with somebody. That's going to be by himself. Unless he has some damage. I don't know. But he is coming in at the midway point. Short fill. Got to be careful. Here comes, I think that is Tanner Richards coming to pit road. Tanner almost into the grass. I think he clips the grass. But no black flags. This is what happened in the first race. A rash of black flags in the first stops. And the only stops. Remember, these he slides in, hits his mark. Only need to do one stop to get to the finish here in the fixed or the Oval Series. They do have tire limits, 3 sets of tires, 2 on the car, or 1 on the car, 2 in the pits. Here comes the field off of 4 again. Anybody else come to pit road this time? I don't think we're going to have takers this time. Peeling off. That is Campbell. I think that's Clindy coming with them. Tyquilla coming with it. Oh, getting real close. Getting real close there. Trost staying on the racetrack. Remember, he stayed out the longest in race number 1. So we will be keeping an eye on him. Stephen Lee, Dave Mitchell, still your leaders. They have pretty much blocked off the front for the most part. Peleg done everything but push Dave Mitchell out of the way. He's in that Larson livery right behind Mitchell. Here comes the leaders on the pit road, Povolonis and Stephen Lee getting down to the 55 miles per hour at those cones, and they do it, and they do it under control. Good job for those guys. Now all they have to do is find their marks, find their spot, hit their marks, and continue this race. There we go. Stephen Lee to his marks. AC Povolonis to his marks. That turns the lead over to David Mitchell. Mitch going to stay on the bottom because he knows he's going to have to come to pit road sometime, and he does not want to get shuffled out on the high side. Peleg's going to stay right behind him on the low side. Here comes our leader to pit road, also coming Dylan Moskowitz.
All right, if you are that pack right now, you got to work together. That pack that is staying out, you got to catch these cars coming off the pit lane right now. There's about a half a straightaway between them right now as they come up to a car merging.
Whoa, whoa. That's Jeff Murray, I believe. One of the Yukos Hollinger liveries from last year, I think. Do we have more takers on pit road? Yes, we do. That is Ross Cotto coming to pit road, and he's sliding all over the place. He's going to straighten her out. But that's going to cost him a ton of time. Now we got Mitchum and Klein in the yellow submarine. Mitchum in the kind of the rocket pop looking livery, although I think LGN said it reminds him of the Domino's Hot One. Big run, Brendan Tross on the high side. Here comes the king of the heels. Solis Jr. coming to pit road.
Yeah, Trost knows what to do here. Like we were talking about earlier, he knows that they got to push. They got to really be able to use these cars coming off of the pit lane and springboard off of them, but catching them like this merging is not going to do them any justice. They really, really, really got to get some of those cars up to speed.
Remember, Brandon Trost, over 1,100 official wins in iRacing. You might not have to like them, but you got to certainly respect them. Larson Liveries and Pennzoil coming to pit road.
Pellig coming to pit road. I'm surprised he actually did not stay out any longer. He was saving a lot of fuel there. But with 3 cars, they might be able to work together and potentially build a gap if that pack that's staying out decides to keep on fighting each other.
Now, Mitchum, Gilson, Trost, and Pollock, they have not come to pit road yet. In fact, now 2 of them stay out, or two come to pit road, and now Trost all by himself. Remember, Trost started from pit road. He has just a little bit more fuel than everyone else anyways from starting on pit road because he didn't have to take that entire lap to come up to take the green flag. He just left directly from pit road. So he has a little bit more fuel than everyone else on top of what he's been able to save. I'm going to guess that Trost is going to get past lap 35, maybe in the 36 or 37. We'll see. Watch him prove me wrong and come to pit road this time by. But he's in the draft of Ross Cotto. Cotto, I don't think really knew what to happen was going on, and Trost had to go to the apron. That's going to cost him a little time. Here comes Jeff Murray. Does he let Murray on by and maybe allows Murray to punch a hole in the air? And that's kind of what it looks like what's going to happen. But does Trost? No, Trost goes to the inside. He might be coming to pit road. He might not want that car to his inside coming off of turn 4.
No, I think he's going to come to pit road here. I think he knows these guys don't want to work with him. No, he's going to stay.
Yeah. Oh, here he comes. Yeah. So I figured he'd get into the 35s. 35 or more. So he's going to have a really short fill. Oh, caution on the racetrack. Big wreck coming off of turn 2. Big wreck. We got a car riding the fence. I have no idea who that is.
Oh, my Lord.
Trost needs to keep coming. No, Trost is on pit road. He's down and away. He even got a chance to get tires. He's going to be the leader even after all that. So William Sapala in it. Michael Newcomer was in it. Stephen Lee just has awful luck in these races. He was in it. Gabriel Mauricio was in it. And Tanner Richards was in it. Let's speed up this replay and just see where things happen. Okay, there's a car with a missing front wing. That might be Mauricio, and Mauricio just gets in. I'm not sure when Mauricio lost his front wing, but you could talk about it yourself. I mean, you could race around here with a front wing missing, but it makes things a little bit more difficult.
Yeah, it's absolutely suboptimal because you do have more drag. Like you actually do have more drag because you're gonna have no deflection of the air pretty much on the tire, so it just acts like a parachute.
Well, here's just an air, and it's aero wash just right up into Stephen Lee a little bit. It might have been a racing deal as we watch them all spin. I don't know where Mauricio lost the wing. Might have to go back a couple laps to find out where. Here it is. This is at least a lap before he lost the wing. We'll watch him as he goes through the field here. He goes on the outside here, gain a big run. Goes on the outside, a newcomer in the Victoria's Secrets car. Big run. So where does he lose this thing? Now he's going on the high side of Moskowitz. He's going to get to Povolonas. I think does he try to fill a hole there and it just closes up on him? No. Oh, that's where, okay. He tries to cut in front of Tanner Richards really quickly and smacks the wall. But the weird thing is when he smacks the wall on the right side, it takes away the left front plane. So kind of an odd choice of a missing part there.
Yeah, it's a little weird. Physics, a little physics issue there, but hey, I mean, either way, it would have done damage regardless.
And chat says, of course it had to be the Larson livery.
Jeez. It was a good run.
And someone asked,
feel bad for them.
and someone asked, did they come up or the other car come down? I think that might have been a little combination of both. I think it was a little racing deal, but I don't think it helped that Mauricio had a missing front wing, so he was lacking a lot of downforce. Even with all the banking and assist that these cars have, I think it was just a little bit of combination of everything happening right there. I don't want to put blame on one person. I think just little from column A, little from column B.
Yeah, at these speeds, it's, again, the margins are so tiny. It's so thin. Any sort of variable goes wrong, whether it's like, car positioning, whether it's, some net code, whether it's, a freak accident and suddenly losing a wing, like anything like that, and you're going to have incidents like that. I don't think there's honestly any malicious blame.
Nah.
Either of them.
No, not at all.
But
Brandon
gives us a
Trost,
nice little sprint to the finish.
Yeah, we're going to have ourselves a nice little run to the finish. We have 13 to go. We should go green next time by, I think. Here are your weather conditions. Again, weather is not going to be a factor at all tonight. 77 on the ambient, 79 on the track. But we will queue up the Brandon Trost there and go for an in-car. And they're in the Robbie Gordon cam, and I don't see lights on the pace car. So I think... Get to the other camera angle that I want. There we go. Lights are out on the pace car. So we're going green this time by with 12 to go. And at this point, really, Nick, I mean, elbows are out, right?
Yeah. No, absolutely. You gotta get to the front. It's very, I don't want to say it's easy to stay up at the front, but you can't just sit back, because any opportunity you have is going to be few and far between, especially if you're sitting back like 6 on back to be able to get into the top 2 or 3 there, and you have to be in one of those positions 9 times out of 10 to be able to get to the win. So we'll see if Trost hangs back a little bit, goes right at the end of this restart zone, and see if he can hang on for a few more laps.
Aquila dips down to the inside. He's going to give his teammate a run to the inside. Wow. Wow, that was almost a black flag for Campbell. I think Campbell was trying to set up a bit of a run with his teammate Tyquilla. Tyquilla, fastest car on the racetrack at the moment. He's at a 35.6, which is a 250.8. Now we're going below the yellow line. And, see, I think Ryan saw that, immediately goes down to block it. And, look, man, you're not going to use the yellow line on me. I'm sorry. I'm going to slam the door on you. Pellig up high, Trost in the middle, Mitchell down low. No place to go.
He was thinking about trying to clear himself, not quite there. But he might be able to build a run here. We'll see. He's gonna sniff of that draft.
Elijah Gilson sneaking up into the lead pack here. We've seen him on the top split a number of times, making a run at it here in the late going. Coming to 10 to go here at Daytona. Also coming into the picture, Richard Vasquez. In that bonus coverage, he was up front a lot of that time. Mitchell down low. He is married to that yellow line right now. He is not going to leave it for anything. And this is where Trost maybe wants to crowd a little bit. But lacking momentum on the tie side. He'll get it back on the back straight. Here comes Ryan Campbell to the top side, tries to use a little bit of a side draft on Campbell. Oh, he got out of the way quickly because he saw Tyquilla coming with a big run. Tyquilla gets on by, and he allows his teammate to use his draft and strategically allows him on by.
Trost is back in the mix, though. He lifted a little bit to try to build a run. Oh, he's kind of boxed in, though. Yeah. Trost is lifting big time.
Yeah, Trost not going to have a lot of friends out there. And I understand that. I've been there. I've been in races with no teammates or cooperation out there. So he's going to have to figure out to be crafty while others are working with teammates. Tyquilla on the bottom, Mitchell in the middle. Clindy, your defending series champion, up high. Remember, Clindy won the race in bonus coverage when it went caution at the end there. Right behind him is Sean Pelican, one of the Larson liveries. And then we have Solis Jr. in the other Larson livery down the super stretch here at Daytona. Here comes Joseph Klein in the yellow submarine. He's looking pretty good.
Yeah, they gotta start to think about the run that they're gonna build. They're only gonna have probably one or two chances like the Trost is doing. That's what the likes of Solis is trying to do from that middle lane, just kind of testing the waters. Because if you launch one attack and it's unsuccessful, you're done. But with that 3 wide up at the front, there's not a lot you can do unless you really want to risk it all and go to the apron.
Well, I suspect they're going to, if they were watching race 1, I suspect they're not going to go to the apron until the bitter end. Exactly what Oster did, but you got to do it before the person in front of you does. 3 by 3. Rows 2 rows deep. 2 rows 2 and 3 behind the leaders. 2 by 2 up at the front.
Oh, there, Will there.
Spelling a little bit of a flinch. 7 to go, 6 to go. The whole pack's together now. You can throw a blanket over the top. 10.
Yeah, that top lane though, I'm just worried about it. It doesn't have a lot of energy. There's nobody with Clendy on top. And Solis is definitely not going to allow him to try to get a run back and get a little bit of that drop from that middle lane. So he might be able to stay put there, but he is definitely not going to be advancing. He needs more help. There's not bump drafting, but you can still have some energy from that top with somebody behind you. As Trost does get behind him. You don't quite get that bubble effect like stock cars, but it can.
It's a mini bubble there, yeah.
It's like a very tiny amount, just like you can just do a very tiny amount of side drafts with these things.
Once again, if you're just joining us, you're watching P1's coverage of round 3 of 12 of the IndyCar Oval Series Tuesday night top split, presented to you by Topia Systems. This is race 2 of our Daytona doubleheader this season. Currently, your leader is Tyquilla, coming to 4 to go. Make sure to smash the like button, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on the next race. Also, don't forget your commentary team by sending in a donation via our GoFundMe campaign. The link is in the description. You can also send super chats. Everything you need is pinned in chat. Everything else you need is in the description. 4 to go here at Daytona. Tyquilla on the bottom. Dave Mitchell in the middle. Clindy's thinking about taking a 3 wide on the high side. And right behind him is Sean Pelican, the Larson livery. Right below him is the yellow submarine of Joseph Klein. And that's your top 5 right here. 4 to go. Less than 4 to go here at Daytona.
Moskowitz had a big run up through the middle of the field, gained about 6 spots, but just barely tagged the wall. Killed all of his momentum, but he might be able to build another one, so you cannot count out anybody in that top 12 to potentially steal a podium, if not a win.
And I
doubt who you got.
I doubt Ty is coming off the bottom right now. I don't know who the heck I have, because considering that the apron's going to be in play at the very end, it might be someone a little bit further back that gets a run on somebody, like a Ryan Campbell or something like that. I don't think Clindy has a shot on the high side, not without a little bit of help. But I'm going to go someone crafty here, and I'm going to go with maybe a Ryan Campbell or something. But running out of time now, 2 to go.
I think Peleg, with the wild card, if he gets a little bit of a gap to clear himself down low, he's going to go for it. I think he's going to go for it if he can get that run.
Well, someone's going to go underneath the yellow line down this backstretch at some point. Now the bottom line's crowding the top line. Or the middle line. Gain a little bit of an arc in through the corner. Coming to the white flag this time by...
Here we go, 1 to go.
Down the backstretch now, we are 3 by 3. And Michael Pollock now all of a sudden is in the picture on the high side. Not anyone going below the yellow line down the backstretch.
Oh.
It's getting twitchy. It's getting twitchy. Here we come out of 3 and 4, coming to the finish. Tyquilla noses ahead. Who's going to go to the apron? It's going to be Ryan Campbell. Ryan Campbell goes to the finish. I told you.
Wow.
Ryan Campbell does exactly what I said he would do. By 0.001 of a second, he gets the win.
I heard as soon as he dove to the bottom in the voice chat. I know you don't have it on, but in the voice chat, Ty just goes, "No," because he knew, and he, props to him for not blocking, props to him for not blocking and crowding, because he had to keep his momentum, because he would have wrecked everybody. But wow, Brian, that was, oh my
goodness.
And the big loser out of that was Peleg. He just got crowded in the middle. There's nothing you could do. You're crowded around. You can't really move. You're at the whim of the person in front of you. And he picked the right person at first, but just did not have that momentum at the end there. But still a good run for him, 6th place. Joseph Klein in the top 5. Then Plenty, Mitch, Ty, and Brian Campbell is the winner.
Let's watch this last lap one more time. It really, it was watching race 1, I think, taught a lot of people something, or some people something, is getting to that apron first. And he didn't even do it as soon as Oster did. Oster went right to the apron.
I didn't realize Campbell just watched crossing the finish line. Campbell is already sideways.
Look at Vasquez do a barrel roll.
Oh, God. Oh.
Here's from Richard Vasquez's point of view, as he's going to get some flight time here.
That was a perfect barrel roll here.
Boom!
He's looking like one of the Blue Angels here.
I know, you got to play Van Halen's Dreams there. There we go.
The entire top 13, by the way. All less than 0.3 of a second. The margin of 13th to 1st, 0.273. Vasquez to Campbell there.
Let's get in the results. Brian Campbell, your winner. Tyquilla, I believe this is the closest finish, at least in channel history, I think. 0.001. I don't think, before it was 0.004, I think, is with Caleb Bency beating Robert Malechka, but that really wasn't on our channel. That was on the Elite Racing Network, but that was me doing the producing. I think that's one of the closest ones there. I think we've seen that twice, maybe. That might be the closest finish ever in the channel's history. Tyquilla second, Dave Mitchell third by 0.005. And we're going to get some screenshots in on the forums or in the Discords, I'm sure. Glindy, back and forth, might as well have been 3 miles, but 0.029. Joseph Klein in the Yellow Submarine in 5th, Sean Peleg in 6th, Pollock in 7th, Cato in 8th. Solis Jr. survives to get to the end at 9th. Gilson in 10th. Moskowitz, Trost, Vasquez, Murray, Mitchum. Vasquez can get some flight time if he has a log that if he's a pro pilot, he should probably log those hours. He should get credit for those. That's your top 15. Truman, Richards, Povolonis, newcomer, Stephen Lee, your top 20. Zapala and Mauricio is your remainder of the 22-car field. Man.
I'm speechless. That was a hell of a finish. Wow. Absolute barn burner of a finish there. Chaotic, entertaining. That's what they call the IR18 is. I'll say it. I said it before. I'll say it again, man.
All right. And your fastest lap of the race was Ty Quilla, but I'm sure he doesn't really care about that. I wish although he might be pretty happy with the way that the team did there.
No, definitely.
Let's check out, see if we got anyone here for the interview. We're getting into the 11 o'clock hour, so I know it's getting late. But third place is Dave Mitchell. I don't see Dave in chat, but if he wants to pop in, he can. We will go to Ty and bring up Ty now. And here he is. We heard your last famous last words. At least I heard about him coming to the finish there. Talk about it though. A bit of an adventuresome race. Had moments with back markers. Maybe some drivers maybe not as experienced in these cars as you are, but that was definitely a finish for the books.
Yeah, that was. Oh my goodness! I cannot believe Ryan pulled that off. I don't know if his car spinning helped or not, got the timing thing around or whatever, but wow, what a finish. I'm glad it went green. That's the huge thing. You love when these go green, 3 wide finishes, 4 wide. I mean, amazing. So, wow. Yeah, it was a little adventurous, though. I mean, I was just trying to push for fast laps. I wasn't even trying to go to the front for anything. I was just trying to have fun out there and get a fast lap of the week. But, yeah, they were kind of getting stopped for whatever reason. I just had to back out, make sure I didn't kill myself and everyone else, so... But yeah, that was a pretty good Daytona race, especially for the second one. Let's go. Good job, everybody.
Go ahead, Nick.
Yeah, if I told you that you were going to be 1/1000th away from the next place car, I'm sure you would be a little disappointed. But is it more disappointing just to miss out on the win by that?
You know, it does kind of sting a little bit. Especially when you're in the lead and you had a car pushing you, and I kind of saw Joseph. He messaged in the Discord chat the race before, and he was like, "I tried to push you to the win," and so I saw him behind me again, and I was like, "All right, I'm gonna trust it," and I just don't think it linked up enough. So, but hey, if you're gonna lose, I guess it's good to lose to your teammate. You know, this isn't F1, so.
Were you actually? That was the other thing I was gonna ask you too. I know I saw a couple drivers actually like getting physically bump drafted, like attenuator to nose cone very briefly. Were you getting actually pushed by anybody?
Oh yeah, I was getting pushed by the 20 car. I think it was Joseph Klein. He's my hero.
Holy
He was
smokes.
so good at it. It was amazing.
Wow. Okay. All right. That's wild, man.
He actually saved me. He pushed me past Dave. Dave had a run one time, and I got a little bump. I don't remember what lap it was, but Dave almost got by again, and I don't know if we would have done it after that. So huge shout out to Joseph for that one.
There was one pass you made that got you kind of up to the front, and was this planned working with Ryan? Because you got a run on him, and then all of a sudden we see him dart out of the way, like almost like his wheel failed, that he was darting out of the way so quickly. He saw you come. Was that all planned? You're like, man, I got to run, get out of the way now.
Yeah, it was planned, but we all just kind of saw it. Me, Kyle, and Ryan all saw the same thing. Something with the checkup happened. I don't know if Dave got loose or something, but we saw that happen, and we all just said, go, go, go. And yeah, we got a run and told Ryan to go high so we could get the Charlotte swap, as we like to call it. and got us up to the front. So yeah, huge shout out to Ryan for letting that one happen. He got rewarded in the end for the win. Let's go. How about that?
Shout outs, friends, family, sponsors, anyone who want to say hi to before we let you go.
Yeah, shout out to you guys for putting on the doubleheader tonight. Long night. Thanks for the extra hours. Putting on a good show. I'm sure this was a pretty good one. Shout out to Topia, our sponsor, all the road racing teammates. Shout out to Ryan for the win. Kyle almost got third. Dave, shout out on the podium, and everyone in that lobby. That was a good race. So, yeah, I think that about sums it up.
Congrats on the P2 0.001. I was telling Nick, I think this is the closest finish, at least on channel history. I don't think I can't think of anything that's been tied, and I can't think of anything closer than 0.003. So I think that's the closest finish ever in the history of the channel. It might as well be 4 or 5 laps as far as you're concerned, that you didn't get the win, but I know with some of these races at Daytona, sometimes now even the getting to the finish line and getting the survival of the race is half the victory in itself. So I try to take some enjoyment out of it as you can, but congratulations on the P2, and we'll see you in a week when we head back to a more traditional place, Indianapolis.
Thanks. I will be looking forward to enjoying this one for sure. Appreciate you guys. Have a good night, Gary and Nick.
See ya. All right, let's bring up Ryan Campbell. Here he is. Ryan, I'm going to tell you right now, before we even, you made me look like an absolute genius with about 4 or 5 to go. I think it was actually like 4 to go, coming to 3 to go. Nick asked me, who do I got? And I said, I'm going to go with someone savvy, and I'm going to go with Ryan Campbell. And you were 3 or 4 deep on the bottom. There wasn't a shot, but I'm like, I think he could do it. There's still time left. And as soon as you went to the bottom, coming off of turn 4, I just start shouting out, I told you. I told you, I told you. So you got to go back and watch this. Thank you for allowing me to call my shot. Congratulations on the win, making me look like a prophet. Now I'm going to go buy a lottery ticket and promptly lose tonight, but congratulations on the win. Talk about getting to the bottom lane first and getting that run to the finish line.
Thank you. Actually, I heard you called your shot. I heard after the race, of course, but that's a wild one to call, because frankly, I didn't even know I was going to win that race until the transponder kicked in and told me I did. But essentially, it was just my only shot. It was my only opportunity. So the real beauty in it is actually entering turn 3 is just getting enough of a gap from the car ahead, but also not too far to where Jose could have just slid down and took my run from me. So I just hit that in a really good way, and then I just didn't get blocked. I went down there and didn't get blocked, and I just got a little bit lucky with the run. And Ty, and actually the guy who's in 3rd place, I think his name's Klein, his last name is.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't raced with him much, but he was bump drafting him and he was making it work, and I don't know how in the world he's doing that. But he was trying to push him to a win, and just luckily that kind of forced Ty to stay on the top, and I didn't get blocked. And then I got a little sideways coming across the line, and that got the transponder just far enough ahead for a cool photo finish. I think that's by far the coolest win I've ever had. It doesn't get better than that.
Yeah, we got to get some screenshots for the community for that one, but go ahead, Nick.
I think, props to you also. None of the top 4 wrecked each other. That was more impressive. You kept it. You made sure that you weren't going to wreck anybody after the race. That was wild, man. Yeah. So, Gary, can you give me a little bit of channel lore, channel history here for a second? Brian's won a race on the broadcast before, right?
Yeah. Gateway a couple seasons ago. Yeah, Indianapolis.
Okay. A couple of them. Okay, that's what I thought. I wanted to make sure.
Was it Indianapolis or it was Fontana or Michigan? Auto Club. Okay, yeah.
Okay. So, this is the first time that I've been in the booth with you when you've won. So I get to ask you which favorite ice cream flavor?
Ice cream? Ooh, gotta go chocolate. I'm basic. Okay. I like chocolate ice cream.
Okay. All right. Any walnuts in that? Like cinnamon?
No, not walnuts.
Just straight up.
If you get the right type of hot fudge, you put hot fudge. You get some whipped cream and 2 cherries.
Okay. Preach.
That's
All right.
that's how you go. That's the best
Okay.
ice cream you can get.
Okay. All right.
I'm gonna
Just,
treat myself to that actually tonight.
You should. No,
Yeah.
you definitely should.
Victory ice cream.
Yeah. Any friends, family, sponsors, any pets to shout out as I usually do? Floor's yours, man. Nice
I'll thank my dog Essie. I have a little dog at home. Her name's Essie.
Yeah.
But no, my team. You were saying how it's clean racing. We didn't wreck each other, and that's all because of my team. I can just trust. Ty and Clendy were the ones I was racing with today. I just trust them that we can do whatever we want, and we won't wreck each other, barring some net code. We can race so hard with each other and then not touch it all. I mean, you guys saw it tonight. I feel like we put on a pretty good show. That's one of the more exciting races I've been a part of. Definitely the most exciting race I've won. And that's all rogue racing, I'm just really happy I was able to get in with such a great group, and they're just great people. So I'm as always, thanks to them. Any family that might be watching, I don't know if I have anyone watching tonight, but you never know. Thanks to you guys, and I'm gonna go to Mid Ohio and hopefully change a tire pretty fast, and hopefully be in the victory lane in real life too. So hopefully this is the start of a good week for me. I think it could be.
Well, that's how they start. You know how many laps you led today?
One.
Yeah. And you led it by 0.01 of a second. That was it. That was all you led all day.
I like taking what I need and nothing more.
I'm reminded of when even though the Pacers lost in the finals to the Thunder, that very first game they won when they came back, and they were behind in all but like 3 seconds of it. And then that's how they won the races. Won the game is they just had that last shot and they led the last 3 seconds of the game. That's you put yourself in a position to win and you hit your shot, and all you needed to do was be ahead by a margin, and your margin was 0.001 of a second to lead your one and only lap of the day. Congratulations, man! Great show. Thank you very much.
Thank you, and thank you guys for putting this on. Every time there's a broadcast, it always brings such a good group out to race, and it's always a little bit fun, a lot more fun when you win on a broadcast, and that's all because of you. You guys do so much to grow this community, and put on these great races and show them to the world. So, as always, thanks to you guys. I really appreciate it.
Congrats, we appreciate it, and you can go celebrate, and best of luck. Folks, if you don't know, he's a tire changer for Dale Coyne Racing in real life, so he will be at Mid-Ohio this weekend. Best of luck there, and best of luck whenever we see you back here in the car here on the sim, but we'll see you whenever that time is next. Congratulations on the win tonight, though.
All right, I'll see you guys later, and everyone who's watching in the real races, wish Rinus VeeKay some extra luck. Let's get him on the podium. So.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, thank you guys. I can't wait to see you guys again.
And that is Brian Campbell. So everyone go out there and give an extra root for Rinus VeeKay, who does pretty darn good on the road courses. And we've noticed that the Dale Coyne squad over the last couple of races has done pretty darn well. So
I'd be cool with the VeeKay podium.
Yeah, I'll be all right with the VeeKay podium. Yeah, for sure. Wow. First of all, Nick, thank you very much for coming up into the booth, because I don't know if I could have handled that by myself, but thanks for being here, making it even more special. Wow, what a finish. They don't get any closer than that, and they don't get any better than that, really. Is just everything building up to that last lap and how it unfolded. It literally just inches right there at the line, but it was all set up very much in the same way. I wanted to ask Brian, and maybe I can ask him after him, how much did you learn from Jacob Oster in that first race? I'm going to guess he learned a little bit.
I'm assuming he learned at least, like you said, a little bit. Even Jacob in the chat, I was just kind of reviewing the chat logs and stuff, trying to catch my breath, and Jacob popped in and said, in all caps,
he says that's better than me. I don't know about that, but okay, that's a good compliment.
But yeah, no, that was wild. Honest to God, there was one other race with these cars at Daytona I could think of, and that was like the old VOR, Velocity Online Racing League, had a all green race.
Mm-hmm.
That was incredible.
Christopher Kresge won on a fuel mileage call. Yes.
On a fuel save. And that's the only other time that I could see it being that exciting without it being like, like a crash fest. And we didn't have a crash fest. I mean, we had big ones, obviously, but it was on the sim. This car races really good here. It races really good at Talladega. It's a little bit of a meme race. It's a pack race, of course, but like in terms of actual entertainment, like the on track product is really, really, really good. There's a lot of different ways you can kind of tweak the overarching two strategies, but you kind of saw that in the works between the two races here. But yeah, no, awesome job, awesome job to Jacob as well. Awesome job to Brian. Support your local racing track as well too. Support your homegrown talent. Yeah, like just awesome times. I think that's all I got to say here.
I need you to buy me some more time. I'm actually typing some stuff in real quick because I forgot to take some notes. Again, are we expecting what's next for you? As a matter of fact, we're going to see in the car. I know in the open stuff, finishing on the podium so well last season. I know you'll want to do better that one. But IIS this weekend at all?
If I have some time, possibly. Again, a lot of the community knows, but like I started a new job. And things are going really well. But that kind of has to take away some of the seat time. As you could probably have told from my first fixed race a couple weeks ago, I was a menace on the track. It was bad, but just being able to kind of get into a groove. Once I get moved in, settled in a couple weeks to a new place, a lot closer, it'll be a little bit easier for me to get back to my racing commitments. But it is nice, it's if anything, I think the time away has helped, and it's a good thing for everybody to remember too. Is like this is supposed to be fun. Like have fun, help build a community a bit, wherever you are, whether it's here or with another car, another racing community, or even, if you're just doing sim racing as a little bit of a hobby and you do SECA stuff on the side, just have fun with it. And races like this, races like the Daytona races that we had, amongst other things, really show and are the backbone of what we do here and what we bring to you guys, and what we do for the community as well too, both as a channel and with some of our partners and sister channels and communities as well too. So it's like I said, I try not to make I don't like talking about myself too much. But as I kind of deflected that, but yeah, I look forward to being.
You bought me some more time. I appreciate
continue
it.
That. Yeah. I really look forward to being able to continue that and build upon that, and just be able to see and race with some of the new talent that's kind of appeared over the last couple months too.
Yeah, for sure. And there's if you're watching and you're not already a part of the IndyCar, the iRacing IndyCar community, there is a link in the Discord. You can join that. And we talk about the community, and we know that sometimes these Daytona races, we see a little bit of crossover from the stock car guys. And we talked about how the stock car guys kind of stormed to the front early in the race. But as always, it always seems to work out. I always talk about the Randy Macho Man Savage promo where the cream rises to the top. Oh, yeah. Well, the cream of the community seems to always at the end rises to the top here. In the top 5 of race 1, we're all community regulars. In the top 4 in this particular race that I know of our community regulars. If Joseph is in the community, I've missed him. My apologies. But it's certainly the top 4 for sure. We know our community regulars. So guys, if you want to be part of the community, hop on in. Water's fine. There's always room for more. And I certainly don't mind seeing more of the yellow submarine that Joseph was driving. Maybe people driving the Larson livery, we can get you into something else, please. Let me know. Just email me or message me, and I can always recommend Royal Boiselle Duracell cars, another good one you can always go to if you want to. I don't know, but that's going to be it for tonight, and I want to thank everybody for sticking out. Heck, we still got 33 people still concurrently watching, so I really want to thank everybody for sticking it out tonight for this doubleheader and being part of a really great evening. So that's it for tonight. Once again, your podiums. Race 1, Jacob Oster, Nick Sudik. Congratulations again, Nick. And T-Rich. I'm going to guess T-Rich is going to be your points leader for another week going into next week. So we'll be looking for that. But Tanner Richards finishes in third in race 1. And in your podium for race 2, Brian Campbell with the narrowest of all narrow wins. Ty Quilla with the narrowest of all narrow losses. But still a good race for the teammates. And Dave Mitchell with his best finish of the season comes home in third. I want to duck one more time if Dave's hanging around in chat. I do not see him, unfortunately. Dave, I gave you a call out, but unfortunately it is late. It is a school night for a lot of people, and they want to get to bed. Don't blame the guy at all, so congratulations on your P3. Join us again next week for round 4, week 4 of season 3 to 2025 IndyCar Oval Series Tuesday Night Top Split, presented to you by Topia Systems, as the teams and drivers head and do the rarest of all rarest IndyCar back-to-back races that you've ever seen. Race at Daytona one week, and then the next week we all go to Indianapolis, and we're all on the oval. We're not swapping between road courses or other. No. Oval to oval. It's the rarest of all rare. You don't see it happen very often. Coverage begins around 8:15 p.m. Eastern time. Again, that's 8:15 p.m. Eastern. Remember, it's still an all-new season. So as always, for the correct broadcast time in your area, you can find everything at youtube.com at youtube.com/@P1 Broadcast. And hey, we love bringing these races to you, but they're not easy, require time and money to produce. If you share our passion for the sport of IndyCar and have enjoyed our coverage on the IndyCar Oval Series Tuesday Night Top Split presented by Topia Systems, please take time to go visit our GoFundMe page. The link is in the description, and donate to our 2025 broadcast fund. We realize times are tough, so any contribution would be greatly appreciated. We thank you for watching. Make us a part of your Tuesday evenings each and every week. Now, as you know, the YouTube algorithm game is not an easy one, so please help support P1 with the weekly grind. Leave a comment below. Let us know what you thought of tonight's race. And if you enjoyed tonight's coverage, support us by smashing like in the video. If you're new, click subscribe. And while you're at it, hit the bell for weekly reminders so don't miss more of P1's other iRacing programming, including tomorrow night. The IndyCar iRacing Series resumes for round 10 at Mid-Ohio. Join me and El Patron, Antonio Estrada, on the call as we call some of the best of the IndyCar community road racers have to offer as they tackle a tight and short but fast Mid-Ohio course. Coverage starts at 9 p.m. Eastern time, and it's all right here on P1. Topia Systems is a proud presenting sponsor of the Tuesday Night Top Split here on P1. Topia is where quality and affordability go full throttle, from custom rigs to powerful pre-builts. Topia System delivers top-tier performance without all the sticker shock. Built with premium parts and backed by a team that cares. Every system is tuned for gaming greatness. Topia Systems, built right, price right, game on. To learn more, check out their links in the description. Promotional consideration paid for also by the following: SimWrap Market, your go-to source for iRacing paint templates and broadcast resources, from clean base liveries to pro-level design assets. SimWrap Market has everything you need to build your brand on track. Visit simwrapmarket.com today. Download, customize, race. Track cams for this race are provided by Whiplash Sim Cams. Get the most out of your iRacing experience with Whiplash Sim Cams. To learn more about Whiplash, like them on Facebook or follow them on X and Instagram. Links are in the description. For business inquiries, to learn more about P1, or follow us on, like us on Facebook. You can follow us on X. You can also check us out on Instagram. You can also check out all of our social links on Linktree. All the links you need are in the description. So for Justin Peschauer, Luis Gonzalez Nunez, Nick Sudik, everyone here at P1 and Topia Systems, I'm Gary Gatto saying all good night, and thanks for watching. To all the men and women serving in the military and as first responders, Godspeed, God bless, and come home safe. Catch us again right here next week in Indianapolis for the next race of the IndyCar Oval Series Tuesday Night Top Split right here on P1. Good night, everybody. Thanks for watching.